Turner Yell makes the stop in the secondary for Denver. 1st and 10. The fake. Good block in there, and down it goes. Caught at the 30.
Welcome to the Fins tailgate. It's where we elevate. Miami Dolphins talk, yeah, we never hesitate. Breaking news, hot takes, we keep it up to date. And when the fans speak up, the panel resonates. We live that aqua and orange from the field to the mic. Breaking down the plays, man, we talk it every night. From Tua to the defense, you know we keep it tight. NFL moves, you know we got the insight. We open up the floor, yeah, it's your time to shine. Fans drop the heat with opinions realigned. You got concerns, bring them, we're gonna chime. The Fins tailgates where we keep it prime. Welcome to the Fins tailgate, it's where we elevate. Miami Dolphins talk, yeah, we never hesitate. Breaking news, hot takes, we keep it up to date. And when the fans speak up, the panel resonates. The NFL's changing, but we stay on the grind. Latest breaking stories, we don't waste no time. From the trades to the rumors, we make them all align. At the Fins tailgate, we always on the climb. We're repping the Dolphins, but it's NFL wide. From South Beach to the league, we keep it worldwide. Got the fans engaged with the energy supplied. Come kick it at the tailgate, we're riding high tide. Welcome to the Fins tailgate, it's where we elevate. Miami Dolphins talk, yeah, we never hesitate. Breaking news, hot takes, we keep it up to date. And when the fans speak up, the panel resonates. So if you love the game, you know we got the gate. Tune in, speak out, don't wait, it's your fate. This is the Fins tailgate, now watch us dominate. Miami Dolphins, NFL, yeah, we integrate.
Yeah. I don't know about you guys, man, but the new intro song is on point. And to not spoil things, there'll be a new intro video to go along with the new intro song as as how we do in these parts, right? We always trying to do something. Always keeping it new, fresh, dope. What is happening, everybody? Hit the like button. Welcome to another episode of the Fins Tailgate with your host, El Capitan. Got my co-host here with me, Ali. We're gonna talk about some stuff, man. A couple of things have been going around the yonders, right? Mike McDaniel finally getting out in front of a podium, so there's a lot to talk there. We're gonna get all into that. I was watching Lou and Tony on the Blitz Pickup argue about something we talked about last night with the Brandon Shore, Chris Greer, Mike McDaniel, The Collective. It sounds like an early 90s horror flick. The Collective in a town down south.
I don't know. I don't like the word collective anymore. After last night in our conversation, I'm going with the cabal.
Yeah. You know what? You're right. The cabal. Well, that sounds even more sinister too. The cabal.
If people don't know what a cabal is, because I know there's some people here that are not, maybe not know, a cabal is a group of individuals that they infiltrate whatever organization in favor of their own ideals
and nefarious ideals at that. They look to what's the word? They look to not just infiltrate but destroy from within a cabal as far as control, and they're ever going. I mean, listen, the world's run by a cabal. So if you don't know that, fucking go watch the internet, dog. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to fucking tell you. And Miami Dolphins and here in South Florida, we are no different. The cabal of Ross runs this team, and we might have to do like a full explanation of the cabal episode, Ali. The Miami Dolphins cabal. I'm writing it down. We're doing it this week, Ali.
Yeah, man.
We're doing it. We're gonna get into the backgrounds and the inner workings of. God damn, dude, I got no room on any of this paper here.
Hey, your boyfriend is in the chat talking about you again.
That's right. I do. Listen, when you're from South Florida, you grow white trashy. It's just how it goes. And I'm not ashamed of it. because South Florida white trashy is good looking. Buffalo Bill white trashy is not, right? And plus, you know, when it's this hot, growing a lot of hair is not conducive for the environment. And like some of you guys may know, my lineage to Florida goes back all the way to before it was a state. Like my entire family has been going back to Florida since forever. So yeah, thanks a lot, fucko.
Oh man,
it's on the notepad, bro. That episode's coming. Hit the like button, everybody. Shout out to John in here first, telling everybody to hit that like button. Daniel Barry Sports, always salute. And then again, we've got, is Trump stunt devil going to be on again? Who's Trump's stunt devil? Who is he saying? Oh, he's talking about you, Ali, that fucker.
yeah. Well, that's
I didn't catch that comment, but you seen it and talked to me about it yesterday. And I was like, damn, that's actually pretty good.
That's, you know, I figured out that Michael K is really yours and my stalker, right?
Oh no,
And
he
probably has naked
close to the
pictures of us
screen when
on
he's
his
watching.
ceiling while he lays in bed. He probably watches it. He's like, ooh, that Mr. El Capitan looks so cute. You know, he's probably saying stuff like that to himself. But he can.
Hold on a second. I'm gonna do a Michael K impression of what he's doing right now. He's doing. Crappy tan. Ali said, right.
He's like, high bar sucks.
I don't know who would shower with their hair with a bar of soap. That's exactly what he's fucking doing, boys.
Let me
you know
print
what?
my picture a cap.
Yeah. I'm gonna screenshot this.
The only person that's lost their nozzle, Michael K, is you. Actually, you know what? Never mind. Scratch that. I don't want to know what you do with your nozzle, so just keep it to yourself.
So yeah, shout out to Armando and chat. What's up, homie? Nightmare 74. What's up? Flava J in the crib, family member, along with a lot. Who's that? That Cap? What's up, Cap? Example, the Clintons. Yeah, there you go, Nightmare. Yeah, we were talking about cabal for sure. I mean, listen, there's a lot of cabals running around these parts, but let's not act like we don't fucking see them, right? What are we, fucking idiots? God, dude. Anyhow,
The question is, can you live with them or not? That's the question.
Well, are you suiciding with them or not? That's the real fucking question.
Yeah, that's true. But I was not trying to use that word, though.
I don't give a fuck. Hit the like button because we don't give a fuck around those parts. We're going to give it to you straight. I don't know if you heard the intro song, but pretty well tells you what you're in for. Okay. And hit the like button, subscribe if you're watching on X or anywhere else. Just come over here to YouTube and watch it over here because it helps everything out. You got to hit the like button over here and all that good stuff. What up, Tom?
What up?
It's good. Mike McDaniel talked. We're gonna get into that in a little bit, buddy. So I think that's
your buddy, guy.
Hey, I'm not your guy, pal.
Oh, man.
What's up, the Dark Sith Lord? Fucking finally.
I actually like that name, to be honest. Dark Sith Lord 85.
I mean, yeah.
85 was a good year.
I was born in 85. One of the best years, right, Tom?
I was born in 86, so yeah.
Yeah. Well,
I was born in 81. My wife
He's
was
like the
born in
last
85.
month of 85, though.
That's right, baby. That's right. I couldn't wait. Couldn't wait. What's up, Michael?
Michael Savion Williams. Yes. Bring him home to Miami. Please bring him home. I would take him in a heartbeat.
Salvon Williams Ahmed. Is that who it is?
Savon Williams is the wide receiver from TCU that's like 6'4".
Oh, we ain't getting
Great hands, amazing contested catcher.
Where's he going to get drafted? Where's his projection at right now?
Probably maybe the third or fourth round. I would take him.
That's where we got to draft a guard, dog. We ain't drafting in there.
You don't know. Miami always throws us a left hook, bro. Right when we think we know what they're doing, we don't know what they're doing.
Listen, telling you, I'm left hook rarely catches me slipping. And if it does, typically I'm told about it before it hits everybody, right? I typically find out pretty quick. They're like, yo, left hook is coming, Cap. Listen to this shit. And then I'll even tell people about it. I'll even give some people a couple days on some of that shit, as I've routinely done, and the fam around here is routinely done. And it said so in the fucking intro song. Anyhow, but I'm telling you exactly what's going to happen. Dolphins, with their first 2 picks, are going to go DB and D tackle in the first and second round. And they will then address the trenches offensively in the third, and then probably again in the fifth, and, get a running back in the 7th and a wide receiver in the 7th. The new Taj Washington's getting picked up in the 7th, boys. Don't you guys remember? We got Taj sitting. I'm just telling you.
Can I give you a hot take? Miami does not address the offensive line to the 5th round. You heard it from me.
Still
the 5th.
I don't know if they're going to wait that long. I don't know if they're going to wait that long.
I hope they don't.
Again, hold on. I'm going to tell you why.
I have a feeling.
Going to tell you why. And this is going to parlay right into the point that I was watching Lou and Tony argue about with the blitz pickup. Look at this. This is a pro move, boys. Okay. Because remember how the cabal really works. There's not just one mouth to feed as far as, hey, we got to fucking get a football guy that we need. There's also marketability. And if come the 3rd round, with the 1st and 2nd pick, the Dolphins have not addressed the offensive line, the marketing will demand that the fans need a fucking offensive lineman to shut the fuck up. Every fucking swinging dick on, and I'm sorry to say it, but every fucking douchebag on the apps and writing their articles and fucking doing their podcasts and all this shit, and they don't listen to us. That's what they're gonna do. The trenches. That's what they're gonna fucking do, bro. I promise you. And it'll get done in the 3rd.
I hear what you're saying. And I hope that is true. I hope it's true. However, this is what my gut is telling me. The gut is telling me that the Miami Dolphins are not going to address the offensive line to the 5th round. Why? Because
they're sabotaging Tua. Because that's what they're gonna say.
That's what the Tuaniers are going to say.
That's what they're going to say.
Look at their MO, though, when it comes to the offensive line. They loved offensive linemen that have super talent and are coming off of injuries, right? And there's 3 or 4 guys that are offensive linemen that would have had 1st-round grades had they not been injured, and they're projected to go in the 5th round. And I'm telling you right now, I bet you anything, Miami's shopping in the 5th round.
Well, I promise you, they're double dipping on the trenches. And I even said a 5th, whatever. Trenches. I promise it. Shout out to Armando with the $10 donate. El Cap is back. Who's been fully in charge of this rebuild or failure? Greer, Funkel, Show, McGeek, or Allen? Who the fuck? Oh, who the fuck is Allen? Does he mean McKenzie? What do you mean?
Maybe he's talking about Alan Pupar. No, I'm just kidding. Just kidding.
Armando, Allen whom? Am I missing somebody in the cabal? This is why we got to do a deep dive.
What's the cabal?
The Miami Dolphins front office is the cabal. The
collective. Yeah, we're calling it a cabal now.
We're calling it a cabal because why not?
They've infiltrated our team and are using their ideals to destroy within.
Pretty much because, but okay.
He's not like my therapist.
Allen is the 3rd. Marvin Allen. Oh, okay. Marvin Allen. Okay. Yeah, that's right. You're right about that.
That is a name we don't hear very often.
We don't hear him. He's slippery in the shadows.
Maybe that's that shadow hand that you've been talking about, El Cap. Maybe it's him all along.
Maybe he is the hidden hand. Because I've been asking, who's the fucking hidden hand? Because we keep bringing forth the names because we keep pulling back the layers, right? We're like, oh, there's fucking Garfinkel. That motherfucker's got all the say. And when Dolphins make decisions, the marketing guy has to give his rubber stamp. Or he's going to hold a filibuster, right? This is what we've got.
Oh my gosh, dude!
This is what we've got. Our front
This is
office
absolutely ridiculous.
has
A filibuster?
yes. Why not?
Oh
Why
my
not?
gosh.
Because he's got what he needs to get done. Marketing. And then also, this is okay. So this is where all this is coming from. It's become privy information. Now here's a fact. Okay, we knew way back when that Tua Tagovailoa, before he got paid, the Dolphins dragged their feet, and it really kind of looked like, hey, they might play it safe and start this season and not pay Tua and ride on his fifth year and maybe get it done in the middle of the season. Something I predicted that would be the right thing to do. There was a lot of people out here in this community. Some people wear flip-flops now. Actually, I would say a lot of people wear flip-flops now, but they were saying the market is what the market is. They were saying pay the man. They were saying that it makes sense to pay him early than have to pay him more later. So then it's done. It's over with. He earned it. I heard a lot of that. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Invasion of the body snatchers.
Mhm.
Even people that I thought would not let that happen went to the beach, left their shoes, and came back with sandals and had their head in the sky. Talking the market is what the market is. Now, that's okay. Fine. I said, look, I felt the tidal wave, coming down the yonder. And I was like, well, the fuck can I do? Apparently, they're going to pay this guy, at least according to the fans. But the Dolphins drug their feet, and I was like, holy shit, we might get a smart play here. Then Tua gets paid. And here he comes out at fucking minicamp. Show me the money. Literally tells everybody, show me the money. After getting paid, everybody cheered. We love you too. And women are throwing their bras, the full nine, right? Like the fucking kid's Elvis to these fucking lemmings. Anyhow, so then it comes out that Mike McDaniel had to go to Stephen Ross and pound the table. You pay my quarterback. Now, here's the thing. Mike McDaniel had to jump over and tell him to pay my quarterback.
It's my quarterback.
And the deal got done. Now, oddly enough, it was put out there that it was Chris Greer that had to be overruled. And I said, I kind of like that. Because that's the Chris Greer El Capitan knows. One in which where he's like, oh, fuck, a fucking decision's got to get made around here. One in which that could cost me my motherfucking job. Well, I don't know. I'm going to drag my fucking feet until somebody else makes this decision. And here comes fucking Mike McDaniel.
It's my quarterback.
Effectively making him to blame here in the to a failure, if there was failure to go around. Now, here's the fucking crazy part. sentiment last year didn't just fall in favorability to Chris Grier because of a reason we could say, hey, would make sense. Because the sensible reason would be, hey, Chris Grier, you're the general manager. You fucking paid Tua Tagovailoa. His bitch ass got fucking injured. What the fuck are we doing? This season sucks. That's not what these fucking lemming dumbass fans did. That's not what they did. You know what they did? Half the fans were like, fuck it, this team sucks, fire everybody, and that I understand. But the stronghold of that, really wanted Tua to get paid no matter what, all this weird stuff. We'll call them Tua sexuals. It's just easier to identify them because they kind of gather up the weaklings in the fan base and they follow them. They're a bunch of fucking followers. They're lemmings. They're bullshit. They preach the Billy God. Whatever the Dolphins tell them to do, they jump and they do it against their own interests because that's how the fucking cabal works. But anyhow, let me continue. Oddly enough, the sentiment didn't go out on Chris Grier because he paid Tua Tagovailoa because that's not what serves these fucking idiots. They then go, this dumb fuck didn't address the O-line, which kind of didn't, kind of did. Got a new center. Didn't have a center. Got a new one. Pretty good one. Offensive line had zero, nothing to do with Tua Tagovailoa getting injured and going out. Had zero to do with it. It wasn't wasn't the O-line's fault at all. In fact, the O-line ranking decent enough, right? But they didn't rank so great that they were a great running team like they had the year prior. So that's reason enough to hate on Chris Grier. Okay. Sentiment now is at an all-time low for Chris Grier, so much so that at the end of the season, he then said he contemplated, or it was reported upon that Chris Grier was contemplating retiring. They don't want him to retire. I think the whole contemplation of retirement is bullshit. I think it's exactly what the cabal and the collective, whatever fuck you want to tell it, tries to throw in misinformation. And they then follow it up with, well, guess what? Guess fucking what? It wasn't Chris Grier that got overruled for Tua Tagovailoa, diehard Dolphin fans that are going to be here when Tua leaves. It was the fucking financial fucking a genius, Brandon Shore. He's the guy. He did it. It was him. Which is fucking news to me. Isn't it? It's Ali, is it not fucking news to everybody? It's news to everyone that it was Brandon Shore that was overruled, not Chris Grier. Because, again, I don't think Chris Grier needed to be overruled. I think Chris Grier was like, I ain't fucking doing nothing. It'll shake out and I won't be held accountable. And ultimately, he was held accountable for something he didn't do rather than something he did, which he should have been held accountable for.
Preach.
You see the fucking madness? They can't see it.
You showed it to him last night on Twitter, on X.
Yep.
It was all Brian Flores because he benched Tua because he was mad.
Everybody's saved that. The cabal then has saved itself from the reckoning of what the fans would have unity on the real problem and the real issues rather than what they want them to blame.
But you said it last night that the Buccaneers main office is made up of football guys, John Lynch and what's his name?
Oh, that was the Niners, but yes, the Niners.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yes. But let's not get too far off track with that topic because the thing that's crazy now and why I bring this up and all that stuff. And maybe Allen is the hidden hand. Maybe he's the guy. No, you know what Allen is, Armando, for your question earlier? Allen is the next cabal member in line for what is needed to protect the cabal. We don't hear Allen. We didn't hear about Brandon fucking Shore all that much till just fucking now. And Garfinkel's only been in the picture the last 2 or 3 years, taking some of the credit for all the good shit. The Dolphins are winning. They're doing great. Here's fucking this dude standing next to fucking Stephen Ross. out here fucking, he's standing here talking to players. This motherfucker, this Garfinkel dude is a goddamn fucking real estate marketer. The fuck is he doing talking to these players? What is he? And here's the thing. I'm fucking losing it, boys. Here's the fucking thing. God, I could flip this fucking table right now. I was listening to Tony and Lou argue, and I could tell Lou was fucking getting pissed because Tony did not understand what he was saying, and I'm under the impression that Tony's the fucking feds. Tony believes in the cabal. Tony's taking the fucking blood oath. I'm serious. I think he might have because he's fighting for the reasons that the cabal is necessary. And I'm like, what? Tony was essentially saying to Lou that that's a good thing that Brandon Shore is telling Chris Grier what to fucking do with the football team. The finance guy, the money dude, is controlling the roster. Now, I understand he controls what is available fiscally. But what? What are we doing?
So let me.
Hold on. So what that means is he's the purchasing manager.
I got it.
No, hold on though. Hold on, just to make sure I understood correctly, because I didn't get to watch the Blitz pickup. I meant to, but I didn't get to watch it. So Tony is arguing that the finance guy, it's a good thing that he's telling Grier what to do. Is that correct?
And the most obscure, long way of explaining how the finance guy having a say-so is the right thing of the cabal to be able to overrule Chris Grier or Mike McDaniel for that fucking matter. The fact that Mike McDaniel, the football coach, let's take Chris Grier out of the equation because it's something I don't think they talked about. I was listening in and out while I was fucking showering and getting ready and shit. I was like, holy fuck, I'm losing it.
You sound like Alex Jones.
Yeah. These fucking cabal of these fucking. Listen to this fucking asshole.
He's the globalist.
I'm telling you, the fucking globalists are running this goddamn thing right now. Well, now I sound like RFK. Now I sound like RFK. Oh man, we're getting really fucking conservative over here, apparently. Anyhow, let's take Chris Grier out of the equation. The fact that Mike McDaniel, the football head coach, whether I think he should have or shouldn't have, had to pound the table to overrule a fucking finance guy on a player. What the fuck are we talking about? Don't you see that's how we lost fucking Brian Flores? Don't you see that is inherently the problem? I'm not saying Mike McDaniel made the right decision to pound the table for Tua. I'm saying it's his fucking right to make that decision.
Wow.
You see what I'm saying? It's his right to make that decision. And he shouldn't have to pound any fucking table over a marketing guy, over a fucking finance guy.
Mm-hmm.
The only motherfucker he should have to worry about is the GM. Because that's the pedophilia. That's the motherfucker who run this bitch. That's the motherfucker who's El Jefe. He is the manager of the team. All that finance, all that fucking marketing, that's y'all's goddamn department down the hall. Stay the fuck out of this side of the building. But that ain't how we do it here in the cabal. And who the fuck is Allen any fucking how? I know who Marvin Allen is. I know his acumen and stuff. What the fuck is he doing around here? What the fuck is going on? How much this motherfucker making? What's the marketing department on Allen?
It sounds like those kids heard the same news.
Finfo Wars. Done. I'm fucking Joe Wrist. That is coming. That is, I'm texting HB right motherfucking
What?
now. Finfo Wars. That's what Alex Jones' show is called. Info Wars. Finfo Wars. I'm fucking on that. I need this stat. I am getting the graphic, and it is coming here, and we are running in Finfo Wars type of shit.
And you know what's
Whatever,
crazy is I like Info Wars. Listen to this though. That's funny because that's why I said it, because I like Info Wars, and I like the dude that does the American Journal.
You'd like to what?
So they have a couple different people that are on that show, Info Wars.
Okay.
And the one dude that hosts the show is called American Journal.
I don't know that guy.
I forgot his name, but that's his show. And I like his take because like he's very conservative, but he just talks about a lot of, like, he talks about the environment, alternative energy. He's more in the middle when it comes to a lot of things. He's not just like because that's what I do like about that show is that they have different people on there that talk about things that it's kind of like this show.
Hell yeah.
It's very similar.
Smart.
It's very similar to this show, except it's just all about politics. And I came across it because this new cable I subscribe to has all of those channels, and I never watched them or listened to them, and then I just started playing them, and I was like, and what I like about it is that he shows like the information they're talking about. They actually print it out and show you that it's like it's published articles that they're talking about.
Yeah, I got you, dog. I know. I see the bit that they do, and I'll tell you what. Listen, I got to be honest. You know me, Tom. I will disseminate from everything, but I equally distrust everyone. You know what I'm saying? Like, well, that's how I keep the same motherfucking energy on everything. I'll vote for somebody, and once they're government, now I don't like you no more, dog. Government, I don't trust government. I'll watch some shit, but I don't trust nothing because that's just how I handle it. Now, I'll disseminate the information. If shit starts checking out, I'll be informed. I don't trust nothing. I don't trust nothing. I make no hasty decisions on anything ever. They're all fucking cerebrally calculated, just like what was calculated with the Miami Dolphins in getting Zack Wilson. That is our next segment coming up. Make sure you guys are hitting the like button and subscribing if you are new. If you're watching on X, Twitch, Twitter, your fucking mom's basement on Roku channel, CB Radio, listening to us on Apple Music or Spotify or fucking Sonar, bouncing off of Starlink that is sending into the ether as we speak. Make sure you guys are coming over here to YouTube and subscribing over here and hitting the like button. Fuck, what a mouthful. So before we move off the cabal topic, Ali, anything you got? Well, don't say it all at one time, Ali. All right then.
Oh shit, I was on mute sitting here talking to myself.
There you go.
So I was doing the rundown on Marvin Allen, trying to find out if he what he actually does around here, since we don't talk about him very much, hardly at all, actually. And there's really nothing. There's nothing about how much he makes, what he actually does. All we know is he is assistant GM. Well,
He's been here the entire time.
Yeah.
He's been here the entire time.
Oh, yeah. He's been with the Dolphins for 6.5 years, and I don't know what he does, actually.
He's been here since the teardown.
Mm-hmm.
When Greer put together the cabal along with what was running the department by and large. Holy fuck, dude. I think we're finding out.
The Department of Miami Efficiency. That's what it is. That's what it is.
Oh.
It's called Dome.
Oh, wait a second. Text that to me.
It's called Dome, D-O-M-E, Department of Miami Efficiency.
Oh my God, dude. This is fucking gold, boys. I love it.
Oh my God. Oh man.
Department of Miami Efficiency. I'm texting it to HB.
They infiltrated everything.
Oh boy.
Finfo Wars, brought to you in part by Department of Miami Efficiency. You show us a good player, we'll tell you to fuck off.
We'll say nope. You show us a hardworking, great player, we'll say get the fuck out of here. Holy shit.
Around here, you'd rather have an email from John Gruden.
There better be a video of you smoking a fucking water pipe somewhere, boy, if you want to be on this team. Better be some marketability.
You like to party, boy?
Come over here and give me some dome.
You saw our quarterback on the yacht. You see how we do.
Yeah. Bro, I gotta be honest. This is a show, a reoccurring special show that is going to be in rotation on this network. Like it's just we could be in the middle of this and go, that's it, thunk, and just switch up and go right into a Finfo Wars fucking thing. Because we could get on, like right now, that's what we would be doing the remainder of this show.
Last night was Finfo Wars. Last night was definitely a Finfo Wars episode.
Yes.
Yeah, definitely. Hey, speaking of news and stuff that's out there, did you see Aaron Rodgers working out with the new receiver for the Steelers already?
Well, oh shit, for real?
Yeah, he was working out and they were throwing the ball around.
With DK?
Yeah, DK Metcalf and Aaron Rodgers were throwing the ball.
Yeah. You know what? You know who's happy about that? The cabal, fucking marketing guy over there for fucking Pittsburgh is happy about all that. That's what's going on now. They're serving the I don't know the Steeler acronym for cabal on their fucking dome, but whatever. Fuck it.
So there's that going on, and then in the same day, Tomlin, the coach of the Steelers, was being interviewed, right? And people are all concerned about his health now because during the interview, he was sweating like profusely, like really, really bad.
Who?
Mike Tomlin, the head coach of the Steelers.
Well, were they in like a building? Were they outside?
I believe it's the normal NFL meeting
Like
that they have
booth?
every year. He was sitting at a table where it's like they're having breakfast with the coaches or whatever, and he was surrounded by people. People were interviewing him, and I expect it's because of someone may have had a spotlight or something.
He had a
on
little bit.
him.
He had a little bit too much ashwagandha with Rodgers.
All I know is that
Ayahuasca. I mean,
it's being reported that people are afraid of his health now. That's what is being reported. There.
Damn, that sucks, man.
yeah. You know what? I hope he. You know what? Like cure his health if he comes to Miami. That'll cure him up real good. Shake, what is
a
up?
Browns fan or something?
What's going on?
Shake's a Browns fan now. He said, "Fuck this." The Browns are getting ready to have the second quarterback. They're getting Shador. He's going there.
Nah. Carroll City, baby.
Oh, Carroll City.
okay.
Carroll
Oh,
City,
is that
all
a
right.
high school?
Yeah,
my high
Carroll
school,
City.
yeah,
Where
that's my
you
high
at?
school.
Mm.
Carroll
Nice.
City Chiefs.
Nice.
Mm.
I'm gonna have to get me a L Dove Lake Worth High School jersey and wear it.
What was there? What were the?
By
what
the
was
way,
Lake Worth again?
there's people that sweat sweat for no reason, bro. So I think it with a grain of salt. There's people that fucking sweat and 30 below zero. So
Being real, I'm a heavy.
We call them heat pumps.
I'm a heavy brow sweater. Like, I don't really sweat mostly anywhere other than like sometimes the small of my back, but my head will sweat a lot. So, but like, I don't sweat anywhere else really, but my head, I'll fucking rain. But maybe that's what it is. Maybe he doesn't like being around all them fucking assholes. Maybe he's a football guy and doesn't like all this dumbass interview bullshit and don't want to be there. I don't know.
I don't know. I think personally, I don't think he wants to be in Pittsburgh anymore, bro. I think
Good.
he's
I want him to be here. I hope he fucking leaves. I hope he runs away from Pittsburgh and we bring him here.
Me too, man.
And we bring him here as the assistant head coach, defensive coordinator, general manager. And he can run the cabal. So, Shake, just to catch you up, we have shaken out a whole new bit segment that I think we can all really take hold of and have like a good time doing. Instead of Info Wars, we're gonna do Finfo Wars.
Hell yeah.
Shout out to Joe Rist for coining the fucking name. And then Tonk said that the cabal, that is the Miami Dolphins upper management, the cabal, they are actually the DOME, Department of Miami Efficiency. So
and then TFTG can bring out new spaces on Twitter, and we can call it Dome Talk.
We can call it catching some dome.
By the way, Finfo Wars already started. It was called Pete's Takes.
I'm telling you, this is happening. We've got slogans.
Have you ever seen Pete and True Talk? Oh my god,
bro! I could see the Twitter page. I could see the
yeah, that would be a cool hat.
Yes, a hat. I'm seeing like a blacked out fucking hat.
Like it looks just like the Doge hat, but it has like TFTG on the side.
Yes. I'm
like the TFTG, but a TFTG American flag on the side.
Listen, I'm giving this idea to HB. Do not worry. He will run to the moon with this fucking thing. This is happening. We're getting a graphic. We're getting a background. We're getting a fucking a symbol down here. It's fucking happening. And this will be like a reoccurring special thing when some shit pops off, and we got to get right into it. We got to talk about the globalists. We got to fucking get on these. Shake, I don't know if you know this, but the cabal is running the Miami Dolphins. It's ran by a shadow government when they're shadow tanking here in this season. The Miami Dolphins have not effectively added any good talent. They keep telling the fans that they're going to address the trenches, but they're not fucking doing it. I've been trying to tell everybody this for a while. I sound like more like Bubba the Love Sponge, don't I? I need to fucking watch him.
Meanwhile,
I sound a lot like Bubba the Love Sponge on that. I got to let me get his cadence down real quick, dude. Give me 2 seconds.
Listen,
give me 2 seconds. I will strip that cadence and have that bit down. Give me a second.
Listen now, Capitan.
Yeah, you're
the water that listen. I'm sorry. The water that these Finns are drinking are making them betas. You gotta understand. It's the water they're drinking. They're drinking a different kind of Gatorade. See, what happened is, look, Stephen Ross went cheap on the Gatorade and got gay aid and made them betas.
He's a globalist.
Yes.
Yo, gay aid is fucking diabolical.
They went cheap and bought the generic stuff and made them betas.
What they're drinking. You know who he sounds like? He sounds like the guy who
like
does,
the host of one of those fucking Finfo Wars shows. That's what he sounds like.
Wait. He sounds like the guy who does InfoWars, right? I can't think of his name right top of my head, but the guy, he sounds like Alex Jones, but combined with Larry King at the same time.
I think it's fucking
that's hilarious.
Because he's calm while doing it, unlike Alex Jones.
Yeah, you gotta get you gotta sweat from the brow. Yeah. You gotta get crazy.
Oh man, that's funny.
Shake, I want more of the gay aid fucking bit, please. That's what I want.
Yeah, I understand. Yes. Listen, you goddamn it, motherfuckers. These motherfuckers are drinking this stuff. And it's making them better. And that's why we can't wear blankets. I'm sorry. Excuse me. Please. Sorry. We just can't win playoff games because they're drinking that water. God damn, hold on. I'm sorry. Let me calm down.
Bro, I'm not fucking about, boys. I am stripping this bit. I'm stripping this bit from this, and we're going to sell fucking weird fucking shit, too. I just want to tell you guys about a really great product we have here at the Finfo Wars. Something I've been taking every single day. It's made me more youthful, more aware, and stronger. If you want to counterbalance the Gatorade intake you've been taking here in Miami, you need to take El Capitan cigarillos. It's some shit. I don't know. Like, hold on. Give me a second. Let me steal his identity. Give me a second. God damn it. Whew, guys, I'm all over this, Tom. I'm all over this. Okay. I got it. It's I want to do a little bit of talking about some of the things that happens here in the Finns tailgate. You people need to wake up. I'm telling you about this cabal. All right, we're going to take this bit to the next level, boys. I like it. We're going to flesh this out. The gay aid might need a full investigation, Shake.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck, dude. Finfo Wars live. Stay finformed.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's all right, we'll work that out next time. There we go. Let's go ahead and get to what we wanted to talk about. The whole point of the show. 48 minutes have literally gone by before we even got to talk about what the whole topic of the show is going to be. Because here's a lot, right? People are saying what Mike McDaniel meant, what he was really talking about. And it's been a little over 5 months since we heard from Mike McDaniel. And I got to say, one of his better interviews, the uhs and the ums and the filibustering that he typically does when he talks, he was a lot more candid and direct and clear on some stuff. And he talked about some good things. So let's get right into it.
Well, I think this being going into year 4 and working with Chris was very powerful in that we could, really every year, specifically now, where veteran contracts are getting shorter and shorter, post their first contract or second and third contracts are getting shorter. You're having to solve different problems. And I think the way we've attacked it directly relates to, the lessons learned, both good and bad, from the 2 previous years. So when I talk about, the vision that I have, for our team in 2025, that includes players that are on the upward ascension of development, players that I think that we can further develop and that can contribute to a culture of a team first mentality that wins down the stretch of the season. So
I'm going to stop him right there because he said a lot. For usually in a minute and 20 seconds, you got nothing but uhs and ums. Okay? He really, and there was some uhs and ums, as you know, but he really was very candid with this. Year 4 with Chris Greer. They've learned some stuff. And it's obvious from what I'm disseminating from what he's saying here is that him and Chris Greer have spoken, and they recognize some of the places that have gone wrong and how they can correct it, and their vision of what they're going to do with this team moving forward. And it sounds to me like they're trying to go younger. They're trying to become more disciplined fiscally. Then that, yeah, dude, you can't do that. It threw me through a loop. No. But that, there's a plan in place and they are enacting it. I'm going to rewind it a little bit.
Act it directly relates to, the lessons learned, both good and bad, from the 2 previous years. So when I talk about, the vision that I have, for our team in 2025, that includes players that are on the upward ascension of development, players that I think that we can further develop and that can contribute to a culture of, a team first mentality that wins down the stretch of the season. So, so far so good. We still have a lot of work. Free agency has gotten a little longer, so to speak, in my opinion. I think that it gets drawn out. There's a lot of transactions early, and then, people are kind of trying to find their best fit. We're in communication with some players, and we have 10 draft picks. And those guys are unique because you have the ability to have a 4 to 5 year contracted employee that, really can influence the character and culture of your team, as you progress. So I'm really
I'm going to stop him again right there because, I see B. McD in here. He says, I've learned it's crashing and burning. The seat is hot. That does not sound like a guy who feels like his seat is hot. That sounds like a guy that
he sounds comfortable.
He sounds extremely comfortable. He sounds like he's talking about there might be some more patient, harder decisions to make for the long term for what their real goals are.
Yeah, and I don't know. He sounds like he's looking forward to these next 2 seasons.
That's exactly what it sounds like to me. And it also sounds like he's looking forward to it with Chris Greer and that they have a plan. And that, typically, as he said, the free agency is really stretched out and there's guys you're in communication with, stuff like that. But he was very adamant to say, but we have 10 draft picks.
Yeah.
And we're going to add that too. Again, saying that the Dolphins might do something a little differently here. They might say, you know what? Because look, for several years now, Chris Greer on paper has filled the roster prior to the draft with no glaring needs. I'm not going to say that he's going to not do that, but it's going to be completely glaring that, yeah, these are not players that you can even say could be something, and that he might not even do that and say, yeah, what we don't get in the draft, we'll add in free agency. And that, I don't know. It just seems like they're shaking it up a little bit here because they're, as much as 2025 matters, it's not going to ultimately be what costs them their livelihood, and that the door is wide open for 2026 season with these guys. And I told everybody this from the get-go. They've signed up this cabal, this team, and a lot of it's talent for 2024, 2025, 2026. Now, to me, they've really done some stuff that leaves 2026 season open for a real big change. But how I see Mike McDaniel talking about Chris Greer and him and how they're doing it, they're a part of the 2026. If there is a change, it won't be them. That's what it sounds like thus far. What do you guys think?
I agree. I said this before that the way they're moving it seems like they're moving in a way that they're not on fire. They're not feeling the heat of the seat or anything like that. You look at all the moves that were made, none of them are made with urgency. You know what I mean? It doesn't seem like they're making that move to change the narratives whatsoever. That tells me one of two things. Either they have a plan and they've already been told they're here for the next 2 years, right? Or and this is the big one, that big splash move that would fill that canister of hopium that we talked about last night, that is about to come, or we might see that here in the near future, right? But as of right now, it's very odd. They're not moving like people that I think that are in the hot seat whatsoever.
And effectively, Chris Greer is the only one in what you could say is a hot seat, and not for the reasons he should be, as I did the Alex Jones Finfo Wars bit, because to me, he should be in the hot seat for Tua, but he's not. He's in the hot seat for an O-line. Well, this team is basically saying there is no hot seat because
can I make an observation real quick, Hellcap? I'm sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
Since the whole letter came out that the Miami Dolphins were going to roll with Mike McDaniel and Chris Greer again, you know, that immediate response that we got, not even waiting till the fan base cool off a bit. We haven't seen Chris Greer one bit. The only photo I saw,
he's been in the lab.
Hold on. The only photo we've seen of him was when he was at the Georgia thing along with Mike McDaniel and Coach Weaver. Now, the one thing that we haven't talked about, because we talked about how if he got fired, it would be a lateral move or a move to a higher position. He wouldn't leave the company or anything like that, right? He wouldn't be fired. It would be like a promotion type style of retirement, right? But the one thing we didn't talk about is, what if he remains the GM, but he doesn't have any of the responsibility. He's just a figure.
Oh yeah, no, that's listen. I don't.
That would be a cabal move, to be honest. That would be a cabal.
I gotta be
move.
honest. I've been operating with my understanding of the Miami Dolphins front office. I've been operating with how I see it being run as a cabal all along, because to me, Chris Greer is not a general manager of the Miami Dolphins. He is the lead scout, talent evaluator. He is the final say on football things about football guys.
Speaking of which,
that's what his deal is.
Speaking of which, don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, you can get all of your cabal info right here on TFTG.
Yep. Look, Jake, the Finfo Wars, TFTG. I got to be honest, that is really good work by you, Ali. You're getting good at that.
It was not my best work, but it was. I was. More,
it's pretty good. It's pretty good. That's believable. Like, it lines up pretty fucking nicely. Not gonna lie. With the beard almost connecting, it's fucking dope. Gotta say. Yes. Finfo Wars coming at you. Let's continue.
Excited specifically for what we've done, the types of players that we've added, and the scope of how we're going to address our needs. And you know, I would love to tell you exactly what we're doing. Vaguely, I think that would be a competitive disadvantage. So I think I felt like I hadn't looked at it in a while, but so it is so far so good. In lesser words.
So real quick, super excited about players that they have added. What players is that? What players is he talking about?
Westbrook Keniche, maybe. They also added Madison. You know, he might have some abilities that he likes. Those are the two that I think.
I get that he's the head coach, so he looks at everybody. It's just like, as excited as he is, it's not how the fans feel. So it's not like he's like, oh my God, I got Tyreek Hill to work with. You know what I'm saying? I get that it's kind of a canned answer, but he seemed very genuine with it. Maybe he's just getting better at lying. I don't know. Maybe the cabal has fully transformed that's not even Mike McDaniel anymore. That's a clone. That's not Mike McDaniel. Mike McDaniel died in 2023, and this is a clone. Dude, this is fucking never gonna stop.
I could tell by the hairstyle.
Has he had a humiliation ritual yet?
Yeah, that's next. That's next. That's incoming.
El Cap, this is a clone. He's not even really wearing brand name Letterman jacket. That's the Temu jacket.
Even the watch is fake.
Emoji in response to a post suggesting he could be traded. Have you spoken to him about this?
Whoa.
So we just asked about the Tyreek Hill deuces sign that we talked about last night. This kind of caught Mike McDaniel off guard in this interview because he didn't know about it. That was what he was talking. That's what the question was. What's going on with Tyreek Hill? He's giving the peace sign on Twitter. Blah 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 blah.
No, I have not spoken about alleged read-ins on social media. No, because he's been he's definitely been a face within our building in the time period of end of season before phase 1 starts. He's been in the building more this year than the other years combined.
Did you hear that? Did you hear that?
That sounds good.
He said that Tyreek Hill in this off season, since the end of the year, from when he requested a trade out of Miami, has been in the building more than all of his time in the off seasons combined. So for whatever Tyreek Hill is going to get traded, we're getting rid of Tyreek Hill. Tyreek Hill needs to get up out of here. He wants to leave Miami. He spent more time in this back office and in the facilities since then.
Him
More
and,
times than ever
Robert
before
Prince has been a good.
Combined. That's like coming around for 3 hours in 1 year and 4 hours the next. He was there for 7 hours this year.
Amount of time together.
I like that.
And of end of season before phase 1 starts. He's been in the building more this year than the other years combined. Him and Robert Prince have spent a good amount of time together.
Robert Prince, the new wide receivers coach that we just got here. Okay. So he's with the wide receivers coach. A guy brought in. We let go of Wes Welker, who was a fan favorite around here for obvious reasons, but for whatever reason couldn't get his wide receiver room in order, and his room suffered, and he had to fall on the sword. And this Prince guy was brought in, and he was the best graded out. He won some award for like the best
wide receiver coach of the year award.
But it wasn't just wide receiver coach. I thought it was best assistant coach award. Like he won the best out of all assistants, like
maybe, yeah,
positional coaches award too. So, all right, let's continue.
And, I think, beyond that, who knows, Tyreek's known for like whatever antics on social media. He's entertaining and whatever.
You've really? This is news to me because according to Dolphin fans, this is all new to them. This guy trolls for you and you like it. And when he trolls you, you don't like it. You're a bitch. They've been drinking too much of that fucking low grade Gatorade.
So we're in a good spot where if there's anything that I needed to know, direct communication would be executed.
I got to be honest. I'm having a really hard time focusing. Not because the interview isn't good, but I can't help but hear fucking Shake say in the Alex Jones voice, they drank tainted Gatorade. It was gay aid. I can't stop you. That was so funny. Sorry, I had to.
Real quick, I want to show y'all something. I don't know if you see. Did you see this video?
Oh no, this was something we on the docket. This was on the docket.
Not bad.
Hold on, what?
No, go ahead.
Yeah,
Let's play it now.
What is that?
Let's play it now, baby.
Yeah.
One hour ahead. I believe so. No, backwards. I just gotta say this, bro. Maybe. I love being a Dolphin, bro, with all my life, bro. I don't take no days for granted. So one hour ahead. But if you say something on Twitter, I have no choice but to troll. Enjoy the day. Y'all see these snaps right here?
That's what I thought that he was trolling.
So. No, backwards. I just
leave it in the queue.
I have a question. I just have a question because we're talking about gay aid. Was Tyreek wearing his wife's hat?
No, Tyreek Hill
It just
is
had a
in
heart on
cowboy
it.
country. He's in cowboy country in Colorado with the family.
I'm
and
sorry.
He's out there,
it looks
he's
like
out there wrangling up on foot, not on horseback
He had a
cattle.
heart buckle. He had a heart buckle.
Yeah, it looks like he's wearing his wife's belt buckle around his hat, bro.
something on Twitter, I have no choice
let's
but
see
to
it.
troll.
Let's see.
Enjoy the day.
Shake.
It does look like that. Oh man.
No, backwards. I just gotta say this, bro. Maybe.
What is it
I
today?
love being a
Probably
Dolphin,
has
bro, with all my life, bro.
Says I love the Dolphins with all my life on
I
it.
don't
Is what
take
it
no
says.
days for
Boys.
granted.
No days for granted.
But if you say something on Twitter, I have no choice but to troll.
Hey, that's fucking Indiana fucking Hill right there, boys. That motherfucker, he's in the Raiders of the Lost. He's in the Raiders of the Lost Ark.
That's Tyreek Jones right there.
That's Tyreek Jones, bitch. Motherfucker's got the hat, the boots, the whip, and he's out here kissing the girl and getting the jewel.
Look at Mike McDaniel. That pose right there. He's looking at you, actually thinking about what you're saying right now.
He's looking and thinking, what's going on here? You play the video, Shake.
Which one?
The fucking
Tyreek video.
Hill one.
I can't. Oh, you gotta
Play it on your end. No, don't do that.
Oh, my bad.
I got this, Shake. Just play the damn video.
On your end, just press
on
play.
your end. Just press play.
I was right here.
Yeah.
1 hour ahead. I believe so. No, backwards. I just gotta say, being a Dolphin, bro, with all my life, bro. I don't take no days for granted. So 1 hour ahead. But if you say something on Twitter, I have no choice but to troll. Enjoy the day.
Mike McDaniel's like, where the fuck can I get that hat? That's what he's thinking. He's like, I need that hat for game day.
Huh? I wonder how much Tyreek got it for.
He's like,
yeah, that's what he's contemplating. It looks like he's contemplating hard.
Oh, yeah, he's contemplating. All right, contemplating the 2025 victory season, boys. That's what's happening. Let's get back to it.
We're getting to the playoffs.
No, I think that's a great question because I think our team.
All right, just to get you guys up to date, he asked a follow-up question about Tyreek Hill and him being a leader on the team and a team captain and accountability and stuff like that. That's why he was in deep in thought, because it was a real layered question. And Mike McDaniel would usually not give an answer and his way through this and say nothing, but listen to what he says.
Team in that scenario, I think I would be pumped if he was voted captain, because I think that Tyreek being accountable for who he is as a competitor and the what he's learned from in his journey, I think that means that his teammates have seen him completely that they're all healed. They've all as teammates, fully embrace the whole process of, hey, I'm a human being. This is wrong. This is right. This is how I want to do things. So to me, that would show, a healthy evolution, because, anytime anything happens, it's very natural. Like you have teammates that you love. They do something that they regret, or maybe that they wish they could have done over again.
See how carefully he's choosing his words? He should just say that they what's the word I'm looking for? Look, he's got me doing the ums now. God bless it. He hasn't really done that many, to be honest, for as bad as he is. It's actually been a real clear thought of what he's thinking, but he's really, the uhs and the ums come in here because he doesn't want to say.
He can't talk about players' names really yet right now.
That, and he can't say that basically rubbed them wrong is how he rubbed players the wrong way, and now he's earning back their trust. He doesn't want to say that. He wants to put all the onus on Tyreek Hill, what he's learned, what he's grown from, all these adjectives to get around people not being happy with how he conducted himself and is being held accountable, and how he can win back their favor. But what he's saying essentially is, hey, he's working, and it is working, and he has won back favor, and all the other shit is still Tyreek.
I got a question for y'all, for all three of y'all. Do you think Mike McDaniels is a good head coach?
Go ahead, Shake.
Head coach, I would say he's proven he's not a good head coach. I mean, I think he's because number one, he needs to give up the play calling. Number two, there's no discipline in that locker room. So yeah, can he call the offense? Yes, but can he become a head coach and take full reign? I don't. As so far, he hasn't shown that he can do that.
Ali, what do you think?
I think you have to define what a good head coach looks like.
I think Ali fucking waited to think about it. Go ahead, buddy.
I think that he does a lot of things well. I think he addresses, situations and crises better than most may. In addition, I think some of the things that he does is calculated. And I really, I think he's a good coach, but there's stuff that he needs to improve on. Like there's room to grow still. You look at the guy; the guy's super young. It's not like he's been coaching for 15 years, right? This is what.
Yeah, no, I don't, and I mean it just like face value right now. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like just
it's a complex answer.
Let's
complex answer.
Let's put this. Let's just put,
because I would say
is he better than Philbin? Is he better than Philbin? Hell yes, he's better than Philbin.
Hell yes.
Is he better than Adam Gase? Hell yes. Better than Adam Gase. Is he better than the guy that we had when we got Ted Ginn Jr.?
Who was that? No, he wasn't.
I can't think of his name.
Cam Cameron. He's talking about Cam Cameron.
Now, Cam Cameron, I think actually is a good head coach, right?
But he was a terrible fucking head coach.
For here,
Cam Cameron got Ted Ginn.
So I think that he is a good head coach, but I do agree that I think he should give up play calling.
So I'll give you my answer on it.
Go ahead,
because it's very complex, right? I would say he has been a better than average head coach with the potentiality of being a good head coach. But also, I don't know if it's the head coach I always wanted or envisioned, but he is a new age style of head coach. As we were asking me the question, I'm just staring over here and looking, and it just so happens to catch my eye of the Miami Dolphins 72 team I have right here on this plaque with Don and the gang. I've got it's signed by a couple of the players. I won't go into all that, but to me, people think, Don Shula, but Don Shula was the renegade of the time as well for at least culture shock in Miami. What he did was completely different than what was happening. It was a shit show, right? And there was plenty of teams with a shit show.
Mm-hmm.
And he came in and said, listen, we're going to dress a certain way on game day. We're going to do this. And it was a new age thing for the time, making a respectability out of the product, all that stuff. Now, I don't agree with the tactics. I don't like this new age NFL and the way in which it's going. But I do like the idea of having a quarterback that might be able to be better at navigating the waters of it. You see what I'm saying?
You mean
if
Zach
I've got
Wilson?
No, I meant coach. Excuse me, coach. I meant coach.
Okay.
I meant coach. My fault. I like having a coach that might be able to navigate the waters of it because of his new age stuff, right?
Yeah.
Because that's what's upon us. That's what's on the horizon, and that's what's going to be the future. Whether we're getting out in front of it or whether he can do it or not, it still remain to be seen. But I do know that a stick in the mud, old school Joe Philbin ain't working. And I had the coach that I wanted in the type of coaching style in Brian Flores. And I still think, and I know that could still work. But for whatever reason, that's not what they're going to do, or have here in Miami at all. So I'm just not even going to fucking hope, plan, and pray for that anymore. I got to think they're trying to navigate this new age waters. And this might be the best qualified guy, at least right now, that we can get around here to do it. And whether or not he can make it happen, whether or not he's bought himself enough grace to get it.
I think he has a good chance.
I think so too. And I think he's acting as such too.
I think he has a good chance. I like him as a head coach. I would take him over a lot of head.
Listen, for as much as I liked Brian Flores and his style of coaching and what I thought the team would be, for them to pivot to a Mike McDaniel, they've done and could have done way worse.
Yeah,
that's just how I look at it. That's just how I look.
Yeah,
I haven't lost faith in the fact that this guy might get it figured out. That this guy, he's got something.
I think, exactly. That's what I think too. That's what I meant. Like, just like face value. Like, yes, it's a complex answer, but you can take things at face value when it comes to it sometimes.
But in that same aspect, right? It's on a razor's edge. Because it could go this way and be yes, and that way and be no at this current juncture. Now, whether or not he's won enough favor with the coaching staff and the cabal to stick around and get another shot at quarterback, that remains to be seen. He's certainly acting like such, right? Like, and I got to be honest, and I'm going to take this off. God, why does it do that? I got to be honest. And this is just kind of epiphanizing on me as we're discussing it, right? He's acting in such a way with him and Chris Grier that the cabal has already let him know that he is safe. And maybe Chris Grier is prepared to fall on the sword for the failure of all this to save Mike McDaniel. Chris Grier's obviously not going to be gone because the cabal protects itself. But that might be, if the Dolphins fall flat in this season and someone's head's got to roll, it might be Chris Grier that the fans think, off with his head and he's not general manager anymore. And it saves Mike McDaniel.
But
you see what I'm saying right now, buddy? Like, it seems to be already contingency plan prepared to have it go one way and serve up the body. And finally, it's going to be Chris Grier, but it's not going to be really him. It's going to be the body double like the cabal does. They set up the fucking body double to take the assassination shot. And that's how we think, holy shit. But no, he's really on an island somewhere with Diddy and Tua and all that other shit that's going on.
But to be 100% honest, though, El Cap, to be honest, what the argument you made, very well put together. I agree with you 100%. But you can also argue that the same thing is happening in reverse. where they're setting Mike McDaniel up to take the fall shot because he's the one that's in the face. Hold on. He's the one that's in face of the franchise right now. He's the one in front of the camera. He's the one that they're holding in front of everybody so the target can't miss. Do you understand? What the guy who's taking the shot can't miss?
Or maybe he's just stepping up.
So I agree with you.
Both. It could go both ways.
Listen,
Yeah, definitely.
I agree with you absolutely, and your logic is sound because that's exactly what we've seen before.
Mm-hmm.
But that's why I don't think it's the play because that's not how the cabal works.
True.
It's looky here while I'm really over here. That's how the cabal works. It's just too easy to read right now. And the way in which Mike McDaniel in this interview is sitting here.
Yeah, let's watch some more. I was going to say, can you watch some more?
We got more, buddy. We got some more. We got this whole interview. I'm just saying there is more to this because I've watched this whole video and it's going to further the point that I'm making. And Chris Grier being quiet, I don't think it's a protection. I think it'll be a later sell. As you know, he's lost favor, Brandon Shore, and and they're going to ease out the blame that Mike McDaniel of pounding the table because Chris Grier didn't get the trenches. That's the narrative the team pushes. That's why the Lemmings cheer it. They think they're like, I've been talking about like trenches for 17 years. No, they're talking about trenches because they literally said at the end of the year, we got to address the trenches. And they're like, trenches. I'm dead serious, bro. Like these casuals that, all right, let's get on with it. Fuck it.
Well, then you give them the opportunity to prove otherwise.
He's talking. This is about Tyreek Hill, opportunity to prove otherwise, blah, blah, blah.
So to me, that would show, a healthy evolution because anytime anything happens, it's very natural. Like you have teammates that you love, they do something that they regret, or maybe that they wish they could have done over again. Well, then you give them the opportunity to prove otherwise. And I think that's what Tyreek's up for the challenge, because Tyreek wants to set the standard of what type of competitors we have. So that I think if we're in a spot like that, we're probably healthy in a way that would be good for the organization and all of Finn's Nation. I mean, I can certainly say with certainty that at this certain moment,
that's three certains for those who are counting at home.
I think that's there. A lot of things can happen in the National Football League. So you throw absolutes out there, and then I'm hey, you said this. I mean, but yeah, we are fully planning to move forward as a better version of our relationship with Tyreek and the Miami Dolphins. So,
okay, so again, and as Tyreek Hill said, he said certain, but then he walked it a little bit, going, listen, it's the NFL. Like somebody could call up and say, listen, we're giving you 2 first-round draft picks for fucking Tyreek Hill, and you're gonna go, all right, I don't give a fuck. But no one's calling to give them a haul. And they're not going to take the 2025 season Dolphins Here's the thing. When I talked about it last night, people said, get rid of Tyreek Hill because those of them want to tank. And then the other people say, get rid of Tyreek Hill because they want to blame him instead of Tua. And that's it. And anyone else who's saying get rid of Tyreek Hill, just know you're in those two categories. Well, the Dolphins are not shielding Tua from blame like they have this year, number one. And number two, they're not putting in the tank yet. That could change. Mid-season, they're on the rocks. They're, they need to go on a 3-game winning streak to get back at 500, and their quarterback's injured. Tua's gone for the season and Zach Wilson's lost the last 2, they're pulling the fucking plug and Tyreek Hill will be traded. But right now, that's not what's happening. Let's continue.
I have no reason to think otherwise.
No reason to think otherwise, bitches.
When answering Chris's question about Tyreek, I mean, his most recent.
Real quick, Chef Zhu says there's not even 30 likes and there's 50 people in the room. Can we get the likes up, please? Please hit the like button. That's all we ask. Maybe join the membership. Maybe donate every now and again when you're happy or fucking mad. I don't care. Get your comments on here to talk to us, but please hit the like button. It's the only thing we ask for around here. We give all the content away for likes. It's fucking ridiculous.
Actions publicly were the I'm out thing and then some of the things he said on social media. So is there something maybe he said to you that tells you he's turning the corner and will be more accountable?
Absolutely. That's very fair, Hal, and I appreciate the how you kind of painted that picture. I would anticipate and totally understand. All right, the scope with which the fan base has a vision on, and what the in-house relationships are. I'm speaking from a place of that's a scar when it happens to you. For that's what I talked about on my couch the day after the game with Tyreek. That's like, hey, that's something that we have now gone through. What are we going to do about it? And I see action. The phrase I use with the players all the time is that I see better than I hear. And
I like that. I see better than I hear. That's a fucking cool phrase. Gotta say that.
Yeah.
I see better than I hear. I like that. I'm gonna write that down. Anyhow, he's saying, Hal asked essentially, can you understand the backlash from the fans? Basically, what I just said of the people that want to get rid of Tyreek because of what he did, because he said he wants to get out of here. And does Tyreek Hill understand that point? And Mike McDaniel's like, yes. And I explained it and went over with it, and all that stuff. Tyreek Hill's still going to troll, but I'll let Mike McDaniel continue.
And so the off-season connectivity, based upon my relationship and my experience in previous off seasons, how he's been in the building, what he's been talking about. I know what has been put on display during the regular season when we've had a fully attacking Tyreek Hill in the offseason, setting the pace, being the pace car for all the sprints, being, all of those things. And I fully expect to get a better version of that horse that, is the reason that he was voted captain. And, I think that's the biggest thing is there's been a lot of work that we don't go and, publicize, but hours of human connectivity gives me the confidence that we're at a good space. And you know what? Like, no one's entitled to anything, including myself. Like, I fully expect that during any NFL season that if, based upon my work, if there was someone that would be better served, the team would be better off in place of me to do that work, I should immediately be replaced. And, I feel confident because he's saying and doing the right things. And, from an organizational standpoint, we've said that it's unacceptable. I say those words because, okay, well, we're not going to accept that. So he knows that, he's comfortable with that. It's not there's a good opportunity for people to for Tyreek Hill to do what's best served for him and his career, and what's best served for the Dolphins is for everybody is him excelling. I have confidence that he's putting himself in that position, and the second that he gives me information that I should think otherwise, then we'll adjust.
On another level,
Very few ums in that really long statement that pretty much said, hey, I am completely confident that Tyreek Hill understands what he did, what we will not tolerate, what we now expect, and what he's expecting to see. And that up to this current juncture, Tyreek Hill has been doing that. And that should reflect on the Tyreek Hill we're gonna see in 2025. So I'm gonna hold him to that. And I wanna put a little pin in this a little bit at the 130 mark here to remind everybody that if Tyreek Hill is off the reservation, for lack of a better term, I will expect to see Mike McDaniel act as a head coach would act, not as the player head coach, and say, listen, motherfucker, I put my damn neck out for you, and now you're being a bitch about it. You can get up out of here or be benched. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is and how he's being very direct. There's no muddying around and mincing his words. There's no hair on his tongue with what he said there. When he got to the end, when he wanted to put the statement part out, he kind of ummed and uhed through it. But when he was talking about what happened, he just rattled it out, because that's obviously that was not a rehearsed answer. That was coming from somewhere that was genuine. That's why it didn't have all the fucking fiddle faddle in it. And to me, I'm going to hold him accountable for that. And that's the type of head coaching directionalism that ultimately could save him in the future, whether this team is successful or not. But by demonstrating the head coaching proper navigation of when things are going right and or going wrong and how to correct them. And that's exactly what he said he's going to do. So at the 132 mark, we'll pull the pin back out. But of this episode, we will know that we talked about this several months ago if we then see it not coming to fruition. Please, again, everybody hit the like button. Let's continue.
we know he went through the wrist surgery and all. At what point will he be a full go? Will it be the start of training camp, the start of regular season?
Oh, so there's and this was important in the process because we really wanted to have a good off season with him, and that he prioritized that. So he made sure to be proactive, and the biggest thing is he's able to.
My fault.
Run. So that process we don't have to rush, and he will be able to do the things. There's so much in the receiver game in particular that all of the technique and fundamentals that are critical to you doing exceptional has to do with your feet and not contact. He'll be in the off season. We won't rush it, so there won't be any setbacks, but we'll gradually work him into catching the football and going through that process, so that at the end of the off-season program, we should be able to get that work that we were unable to the season before. But the key thing is he can run now, so there is a lot of participation available to him in the off-season program, which is what the team and what he needed.
What a fucking dumbass answer to a fucking dumbass question. The receiver doesn't need his hands. He's got his feet. What the fuck? Shake, help me out here.
He has a foot fetish.
What are we talking about? What
He's
in the
like
fuck are we
he's like that character in Aeon Flux.
And Eon
Remember the
Flux.
character that had her feet turned into hands?
No, but
No,
that sounds.
Eon Flux.
Yeah, Eon Flux.
Yeah.
I remember the movie. I don't remember the
Yeah,
hand
that
feet.
actually was a sitcom on MTV, a Night Swim or something. MTV, remember?
Yeah, but the movie, there is this scene. She was like running up a hill, and this like other character was there, and she had feet for hands. No, she had hands for feet. I mean,
Yeah, y'all are some freaks. That's what that tells me. Y'all feet, yeah, grab it with your feet hands, you fucking weirdos.
You know what that reminds me of? That reminds me of that Simpsons episode where the crazy doctor sewed the hands on the legs and the legs on the arms by accident. That's what that reminds me of. Guys walking around with feet hands, basically.
Y'all are some freaks. Y'all want it to be grabbed with the feet, looking for feet hand people,
Shut
and you
your
guys
ass up.
remember it. Anyhow,
you're the one playing the interview.
Listen, that is not what I fucking heard.
Yeah,
that he needs his feet
Liquid
hands.
Television. That's what it was. Liquid Television.
You just said you were just saying hating on him for
Shout out to
saying
Color.
No, I said this is a dumbass answer to a dumbass question. Receivers don't need their hands to play football. Their literal job title is wide receiver. That's
Well, they
to
do
catch.
need feet to run when they
That's
catch the
true.
ball.
But you could run all day. If you can't catch, I got no job for you. They're slow,
it's
fucking
when
giant.
I hate
tight
answers
ends.
like that. I hate answers like that when they're trying to like.
But it was a
be
dumb
funny and
fucking
smart at the same
question,
time.
though, Tonk. Like honestly, that's an answer. It should be. What the fuck are you talking about?
I didn't hear fully the question. I wasn't listening. That
Well, the
much.
question
I didn't-
was, is Tyreek, what kind of setbacks is this surgery on his hand gonna have? And the guy is fucking 30-something years old. He's
I know.
been elite
Okay. Yeah.
his
I hate
entire
fucking
career.
questions like
This
that.
isn't his first year with the Dolphins. This is his
I didn't know
third
he
coming
had
up in this
surgery.
offense.
I didn't know he had surgery.
He played with an injured wrist all year. Well, most of the year last year.
Damn, man! I didn't.
Yeah,
know
that's
that.
what happened to Tyreek. But the reality is that in this offense, though, what's the other thing that he asks his receivers do more than anything else?
Yeah, but you know what's crazy?
Blocking.
I remember when he hurt
Blocking.
himself, and then the next day he does a handstand.
Well, yeah, but I mean, listen, one wrist is not injured, so it's an injury that needed surgery, and it wasn't going to further injure. I mean, it could, but it doesn't really fucking matter. Who knows what it is? Something in his wrist and maybe carpal tunnel. Who knows what the fuck it could be? Who knows? We don't really know, but it is. He did get wrist surgery, but it's wrist surgery. It's not like if it wasn't bad enough to stop playing last year.
Mm-hmm.
How much of an intrusive setting back hand surgery could it be? You know what I'm saying? It's not that. Did he lose a finger? No. I mean, what are we talking about? And this is a fucking one day this guy will wear a gold jacket. He's gonna be okay.
Who,
as far
McDaniel?
as getting up to speed. No, Mike.
No, Tyreek Hill.
Tyreek will be wearing a gold jacket one day. He's gonna be just fine. There's no needing to catch up for a guy like that. He's already steps ahead of everybody with his talent alone. That's just it. So let's continue. I'm pretty, again, I think the Tyreek Hill topic, look, you can even see Mike McDaniel's face on here. He's like, yeah, that's what you get. I'm tired of talking about Tyreek for the half of this interview with his dumbass fucking comments that you idiots are Tyreek Hill just did Mike McDaniel the hugest of favors. Hold up. Let's go back to the fucking Info Wars. This is what's really going on. Okay. Tyreek knew all along Mike McDaniel was going to be having this interview today. And rather than him get bombarded with questions about Tua, Tyreek Hill takes another
reshares a tweet.
Tyreek Hill gets out in front of the propaganda machine again to eat up half of Mike McDaniel's first interview all offseason. That's what really happened. The cabal called in, and it was genuine too. The cabal, it works in shadow factions, even against itself. Even against itself.
Hey, listen.
Give me the voice.
Here's what really happened. He knew the owners' meetings was coming up, so what he did was he fabricated the thumbs up so the reporters won't ask some real questions. And most of the questions were about the thumbs up instead of asking him about the salary cap.
No, it was
what's he
it was
gonna
a
do?
peace sign. It was a peace
Yeah.
sign.
Yeah, the peace sign.
Yeah, not a thumbs up. Thumbs up. Hit the
He
like
did the
button.
peace
Everybody.
sign so people wouldn't ask Mike McDaniel real football questions.
Yes, and I completely agree with you. I gotta say, the cabal has enacted, and this is how, when you have a infestation of cabal on your hands that the Dolphins have here, it even works inside factions, inside itself, where the little bits and pieces of the puppetry doesn't even know that the other pieces are doing it. The cabal reached out to Tyreek Hill and said, we need a distraction propaganda piece. And Mike McDaniel, the newly inducted blood oathed clone, Mike McDaniel, was not caught off guard by this. He answered, that's a clone out there. He doesn't have enough uhs and ums to be the real Mike McDaniel. That's a fucking clone. And the clone handled it well. The first half of this entire interview is to talk about a useless subject and Tyreek Hill, and they did not speak about realistic issues. It's all been about Tyreek Hill and a meaningless wrist surgery and a meaningless peace sign tweet. And if the cabal is listening, they're going to release balloons all over my page. Oh, look at that. Look at that. I knew they were watching. Let's get back to the interview.
All I know is that
Oh, wait, hold on. We still got. Go ahead.
all I know is that Chris Greer and Brandon Shaw are part of the globalist elite.
That's true. Did you have something, Ali? I can see the wheels fucking turning, buddy. I can see like.
I'm working on new material to send to HV. That's
Okay.
all.
Yes, bro.
Let me just put it this way: if this Department of Miami efficiency is a thing, all hail the dome.
Yeah,
that would be the next t-shirt. Oh my god, this is so funny, bro. It's so crazy that we talk about this cabal like they've infiltrated
the globalist.
But the reality is they've been in front of us this entire time, and if you haven't caught on,
well,
how do you not?
This is how the cabal works. It is never. It's hidden in plain sight. They infiltrate in every level. That reporter asked him these questions. He too is part of the cabal.
Allowed it. That's why.
He too is controlled by the cabal. We are the only free state media out here. Other YouTube channels are part of the cabal. Other Twitter networks.
That's why we're shadow banned in 2018.
We are shadow banned. You notice who doesn't come around these parts. You notice what type of what. It's not because we're not plugged in. We're breaking all the news stories all the time, but we can't get the access. But we've got it. We can cabal the cabal with the caballing.
Yes. Actually, the only two states we're not shadow banned is Montana and Alaska.
And scattered parts throughout Florida. You can still receive us here loud and clear on YouTube. Thank you for the great creators of YouTube for actually allowing free speech here in the Miami Dolphins community, where the rest of it is obviously, shadow banned, and that's why we don't get the access to the players and all that stuff, because they speak to us and back channels all the time, but they can't come on and reveal themselves because they would be zapped in their mind brains. They erase their mind brains, then they create a pseudo clone of you, and that's how you lose all your uhs and ums when you talk one day out of the blue.
Meanwhile, while you're there, make sure you do check out tftgnetwork.com for all of your TFTG Cabal goods.
Yeah, soon coming dome hats for Department of Miami Efficiency at finfowars.com, at tftgnetwork.com. Really. Fuck, boys. I love it. I love it. I fucking love it. All right, let's continue.
You had the Commanders in training camp last year. I know you had your own job, but the job that Dan Quinn did with the Commanders, and do you expect that you guys will be the international game?
Wait. I'm pretty sure we're going international, right? I think you know that. I don't. It's hard to keep track of what I'm supposed to say and what I'm not.
Right there, you can see he just broke character. Right there, the cabal. He just broke character. What he can say and what he cannot.
He just put proof out there that all this shit is scripted, bro. It's all scripted.
I mean, listen, we're doing a bit and we're making fun and having a good time, but like, don't act like we ain't really fucking saying the truth. All right, enough of the likes up buttons. Hit the like. Hit it again. Hit it again. All right, see, it won't. There it goes. This fucking thing. Does yours do it?
No.
Because I got a Mac.
Yeah, you guys are weird like that.
I mean, does this do something? Is it that does something? I know that does something. I don't know. There's some things that do things.
Like that. Like there's the balloons.
But why does peace sign do balloons?
Because it's good for the world.
Balloons aren't. All right.
No, peace is.
Yeah. Maybe like, all right, whatever.
They're like, thank you for throwing up peace. Here's some balloons.
Okay. Let's get back to it.
In training camp last year, I know you had your own job, but the job that Dan Quinn did with the Commanders.
He's talking about the Commanders and Dan Quinn and the successes they had with the Commanders because we had joint practices last year, and this is his response. This is the question: what do you think of Dan Quinn and Commanders?
And do you expect that you guys will be the international game?
Wait. I'm pretty sure.
Where you suspect that you guys will be in the international game?
You know, he was in the Super Bowl with that. He was on the Super Bowl team with Dan Quinn when they were in the Super Bowl.
I know this. He was a part of that. That's why they're asking him about the Dan Quinn stuff because they've had overlapping careers. He was a part of Dan. He was the wide receivers coach for Atlanta when he went there, right? Was he the wide receivers coach or pass game coordinator? He was something. Anyhow, they asked him about because the Commanders are playing an international game. Now, I don't know if you guys know this, but we're playing an international game this year, and they're wondering if it's going to be against the Commanders. I know we're playing in Madrid this year, Spain. Serving the masters of the cabal. We have to play in Madrid because this globalist cabal needs to get international.
Definitely.
This is how it works. This is why everybody is safe for the season, because to make it in a season in which you have to travel to Spain and back and keep some form of wherewithal in the grueling season, you are given what is known as a mulligan in the cabal of the NFL with the cabal cahoots. And the Miami
By the way,
Dolphins.
he was an offensive assistant in Atlanta.
All right, thank you.
Sure, we're going international, right? I think you know that. I don't. It's hard to keep track of what I'm supposed to say and what I'm not. We will be in Madrid. I don't know against who, but you know, I know as much as I could doing the job that I have about Dan Quinn's season last year because I was chewing at the bit for that opportunity for some time. I know what type of coach Dan Quinn is. I also know what type of general manager Adam Peters is, working with him for 5 years in San Francisco. And I knew Dan was going to, he just really, really does things for the right reasons and is passionate about it. So he's been waiting for the opportunity. I couldn't wait for him to get it. I thought, what a perfect scenario, having worked there previous, working for a fan or coaching for a fan base that truly appreciates what he has to offer. I just knew that was so I was expecting some positive returns. I don't think I could have forecasted it that quick, but I didn't rule it out either, because they're building stuff the right way. And in the National Football League, starting from the top, when you have a good relationship, a good working relationship that's real between the head coach and general manager, and you're making decisions for a concerted right reason above board of ego and whatever, it's a matter of time, but I see success more often than not in those situations. So I'm very fired up because he's a true, to me, Dan Quinn attacks the job the way organizations, the way fan bases, the way players all deserve. He's going all in and doing whatever he can to help realize players' dreams and help win football games. So huge Dan Quinn fan, if you didn't notice.
What a sweet answer, right? Like, he obviously to not get crazy with it. It was nice of him. Dan Quinn, his relationship, saying a lot of nice things about Dan Quinn and all that stuff, because hey, gotta remain to have your friends for all different reasons. Ali has something he needs to say. I could see it.
Yeah. So, all right. Since we're playing Info Wars, right? Info Wars. Did you hear what Mike McDaniel said there? He quietly took a shot at the Dolphins fan base and his relationship with Chris Greer at the same time.
What?
Holy shit. I did hear that.
No.
He said, it's great to see a coach like Dan Quinn be able to go to an organization where their fans appreciate what he has to offer.
Well,
right?
maybe he wasn't appreciated at the last place.
He also said in the NFL, it's great that they're building things correctly over there. Hence, why are we not? That's not a thing.
Well, that he also said the relationship.
Yeah, the relationship between the coach and the GM is, phenomenal over there. He alluded that it works great. They have a close knit, and when you have that, things work. Well, are you trying to say we don't have that here? I'm just putting it out there. That's what it sounds like. It sounds like he quietly shadow through disses at the Miami fan base and Chris Greer at the same time.
Damn, Shake, did you hear that?
Yes, every word of it.
Was this, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if the cabal is willing to attack itself in this manner.
Maybe I'm wrong and I'm looking too much into it, but you got me in this whole mood of thinking about the conspiracy theory, and I'm sitting there listening to what he says. And when they say things like this, bro, they all have double meanings. You know what I mean? Everything is calculated. And he even broke character saying that, I got to figure out what I'm sometimes I forget what I'm allowed to say versus what I should say. When you say stuff,
maybe that's what he was referring to.
Maybe. And personally, I don't know. You could have said the same exact thing, what he was trying to say, without bringing up fan base.
Hey, I got video footage.
Oh shit!
Listen. Breaking news. I got video footage of Mike McDaniels before the press conference. You want to see it, guys?
We always want to see what footage you got, Shake. Yeah, exactly.
Fried chicken.
Fried chicken.
This is before the press conference.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
So it's not racist if I say someone wanted some fried chicken.
I don't know. All I can say is that he could have said the same exact endearing words about a good friend of his without bringing those things up. And those things seem to be the issues that the Miami Dolphins are having at the same time. That's why I think there's something else going on there.
Let me give all right.
That was funny.
Yeah, Tom's gonna give it. He goes, "Let me give it a shot."
So I was listening to the interview, and you can tell he's leading right into the globalist agenda. You can tell he's talking about Dan Quinn, which is a complete total fascist. You can see it on everything that he says. This has been ages ago. You can verify it. It's on all the pages. So the CEO of Atlanta is pushing the big agenda on to move it to Israel and Saudi Arabia and so it's just they're trying to be in the INF and it's
Bro, is it me or Tonk sounded?
Tonk is the fucking dude, bro.
Bro, Tonk sounded like Grover trying to be Cookie Monster there, though. To be honest.
I gotta be honest. That is the bit.
Fire, though. That was good. That was good.
I'm gonna have to brush up on my Alex Jones to fucking pull off what Tonk just did, because that was, dude. He brought in Israel and Saudi Arabia and the globalist agenda, and he tied in what the Falcons are doing for some weird reason. I don't know. Like, holy fuck! I'm not kidding. I might have to make a separate fucking channel for that bit. Like a Finfo Wars fucking channel. Like, I'm dead serious. This is all right.
We can use AI to change our voice.
Nah, fuck no. I think we should get like a bald cap and fucking wear the get up and like have a bunch of us all looking like that, talking like that about the team. I don't know. That might be too much, but I think it could be a great bit. We're going to have a good time with it. That's for sure.
All I know is that Stephen Ross is friends with George Soros.
That's true.
Yeah. Yeah.
For all of you guys that don't know, didn't understand that while Stephen Ross was inside, never mind, dude.
And not to mention, last year we had OBJ. Him and Diddy are part of NAMBLA.
Oh my God.
Holy damn. Sorry, damn blah.
Just saying.
Is OBJ and Diddy part of Dome?
He did give all that Dome that one time.
Straight. We used to call it straight to the dome.
Yeah. Oh my God!
I gotta be
I
honest.
also heard
Tonk's fucking.
I also heard
it.
that Tua was sliding down the slides on OBJ's lap last year. On good authority. Just ask True Talk. True Talk verified it.
Fuck, dude. Tua sitting on OBJ's lap to slide down the slide is fucking nasty work, boys.
Did that really
Fascinating
happen?
Information. Yes, yeah, we're riding with it now. That's a fact.
Because True Talk, man, he was all of like.
Was it 3 times he went down the slide with him?
No, that was probably one of the funniest episodes I did with Tonk when we did Insomnia and True Talk got on there. Oh my God.
Yeah, True Talk's can get on one. He can also get off one too. But when he's cooking, it's pretty fucking entertaining. I don't care what
You know what? Some of the best moments I think is when Tonk is on Insomnia.
Yes, because he'll lose it.
Because Shay gets like some like Jets fan that's drunk off his ass, and Tonk just goes off.
Oh yeah.
Yes, I've seen it. I've seen when Tonk is like, okay, we've got a fucking fly in the web. Okay. That no one's gonna get mad if I do this too, and then Tonk's off the fucking. He's on it. It's fucking great. Oh fuck, dude, this is the longest fucking interview ever, and I'm loving every minute of it. So let's find out what else the globalists are conspiring against.
Thank you, Mike.
So, both guys are, there's reasons they're some of our favorite guys. Great communication.
I believe they're talking about Calais Campbell and Teron Armstead here.
With both of them, Calais specifically, is in a unique situation where he's assessing, multiple options as a player in the 45th year of his career. So, like, I understand, and there's a lot at play in that with regard to, all right, so you're afforded your play is high, you decided to play another year. He's assessing those options, and he's a very important he was a very important player to the team last year. And I see him having the opportunity to be a very important player on the team this year. I also see within that position group, because of reasons of a competitive disadvantage that I've mentioned before, I feel like we have some options at the position. He has some options. It is that position in particular has been, a focal point, of mine this offseason. And I feel good about how it could play out. And there's a couple different scenarios that could play out. As well as Teron, like I said at Indy, it's important for me to operate as though, he is unavailable to us. He's a consummate professional that has earned this opportunity to figure out what he wants to do with his life. However, I do feel, in a reasonable amount of, I don't know, what's a reasonable time? Reasonably, let's say 2 weeks. I just feel he's getting close. He's getting closer to having conviction. But we're in constant communication with him as well. That's something that I think that will kind of be motivated by, all right, the great thing about Teron and I is we have had unbelievable amount of conversations about his body and how he feels like that, right? And so I think they're, tied into that, where he's at relative to other years and how we could realistically forecast it. I think that's going to kind of shape, that the answer to that question, because it hasn't ever been about Teron's play, right? It's been about how he's been available, and he's been straining to be more available for us than probably a counterpart would. He's played through a lot of stuff, and I think, we're fortunate that we have a heavy amount of reps on the topic, and we'll be able to, have a conversation about what that looks like, because that will be clean when that comes, what he'll be coming back as, whether that if he would be even able to compete to be able to withstand the rigors of the season as a starter.
Why do you have confidence in Zack?
All right, let's get into it.
So did he say we're going to have an answer from Calais in 2 weeks?
No,
that makes sense.
That was Teron Armstead that they want the answer from.
Oh, okay.
As far as stuff, Calais, they're been in contacts and they're hopeful. But he did say he's operating under the assumption that it's a no, because that's the safe way to do it. But there was a lot of discussion about bodies and how to change bodies and bring them back and be ready and be a starter, but not be a starter.
Where is Mike McDaniel?
Body snatching.
Where is he?
The cloning process happens. Where is he?
Where is he right now?
Palm Beach.
I don't know. Yeah,
the NFL owners meeting this year is in Palm Beach.
It's been in Palm Beach a lot.
Has it been? Okay.
A lot of times. I would say I don't know. I don't know how many. I think it's always there. Honestly, it wouldn't surprise me if it's always there because it seems like it's always there. But yeah, he's operating not under the assumption that Tehran definitely won't be here, but that they have to operate because it's the right way to handle it. So, but Calais Campbell, I don't know. That's hopefully something we can get cleared up early. You know what it is.
By the way,
Calais is ready to take the Dolphins job, and if the Dolphins go D tackle in the first round, he loses financial leverage, and he might want to sign before that. But if he waits till after the Dolphins go tackle first round and not D tackle, he can get financial leverage out of it. So there's a do-si-do happening. Go ahead, Shake.
If you don't believe me about the water they're consuming, I have video. I have a picture of what they're look. This is Exhibit A.
Are you?
This is the water they're drinking. Look at the water fountains.
What?
This is the water fountains the Dolphins they're drinking.
It's connected right to the urinals, which is pretty suspect. There's got, at the very minimum, pee is splashing on that thing. Whether it's feeding a heavy dose of pee in there or not, that is the nastiest water fountain I've ever seen in my life.
But you have to admit, the Miami Dolphins are very innovative, right? I hear their QB is starting to use this new technology to carry his water with him.
Carry his water with him?
I have photo proof of it. Hold on one moment.
Holy shit.
Tua depends. 25% absorption. 25 times the absorption. Make sure you check it out. You can find it on tftg.com.
Wild. Wild. Man, this has been this has been a real treat for Finfo Wars.
It's been a barn burner.
It's been a real treat for what Finfo Wars is going to be. And I'm proud of you. I'm proud of everybody right now. I just got to say, where'd Tonk go? Oh wait, that's because he changed Avi's. He changed Avi's.
No, so. I was trying to zoom in on the urinal water fountain. When I zoomed in on it, I accidentally left the.
Yeah, I got you back. You weren't. I switched scenes. There's more than there's this scene and then there's that scene, and you weren't in it because you switched. But all right, let's continue with the globalist.
Zach Wilson's the right choice if Tua were to miss time, as he has, we all know, in some recent years.
Well, okay, this is the question. Was Zach Wilson the right choice with Tua as the backup? Or, well, not Tua as backup, as Tua's backup?
I think it's layered. This was something that was on our mind for a considerable amount of time. And
considerable amount of time, meaning
they've been thinking about it for a long time.
For years?
Maybe. It goes back to, everybody has a different circumstance, but, we drafted a quarterback in San Francisco the year he came out. I watched every snap of his collegiate play, and
who said that first?
We did. Here
Shake
at the TFTG.
Shake said it first. He goes, yeah. They scouted him heavily. Mike McDaniels, Zach Wilson.
Oh, okay.
Because the next quarterback taken after Zach Wilson was Trey Lance by the 49ers while he was there. He watched every snap of Zach Wilson at BYU.
Hey, before you go back to the scene, real quick. Twinniers need to tread lightly because Zach Wilson might be really Mike McDaniel's guy. Just going to point that out. Very
Yeah,
possible.
well, that's what you said a while ago, and you explained why.
Well, it has to do with what Shake found is the fact that they scouted the heck out of the guy, right?
Okay. I didn't know that.
Shake sources out in San Francisco came back.
Yeah. Yeah, but here's the other part of it. I also found out, and
His gay sources in San Francisco.
I don't know if Shake got this first, but I did research and found this out. At BYU, they run the same exact scheme as we're running here in Miami, right? So not only did you scout the hell out of the guy, he played in a scheme that is exactly what we do.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
What else can I tell you? But go ahead.
Well,
Talk about it a little bit more.
They're just trying to. I don't think they're trying to tank. I think they're trying to find the easiest way, the most efficient way to get rid of Tua.
And is that what the cabal is doing, Tonk?
That's why they're not saying anything. See, notice how is anyone asking questions about Tua to the head coach?
This is why I love Tonk, because up to this point, and I'm gonna spoiler alert, Tua is not asked about at all in this entire. It's been 5 fucking months. It's been 5 months since the globalists have been able to be up for questioning.
Because you saw him on the boat with the globalists.
Well, they're very.
You saw him on the yacht.
Peace sign that did it.
Well, they can't get a hold of Tua, so that's why, because he's out on the water.
Tua's out on the boat on that island.
Eating chips.
Tonk.
The island of irrelevancy.
Give it
So
to us,
right now it's Zach Wilson time.
Or maybe they're trying to get rid of him. They're like, bring in a nice
voice,
Christian
Tonk.
guy. They're like, bring in.
Yeah, do it in the voice talk. You got to do it in the.
Okay. I don't know what to say. I don't know what.
Well, Tua's on the boat. He went to the island. They're bringing in Zach Wilson. Tua, the Christian, losing his job to the Mormon Zach Wilson. And how is the globalist from Mike McDaniel's time? Mike McDaniel's time with the San Francisco 49ers.
So he's the Christian globalist. We're trading him out for the Mormon nationalist. We're going with a nationalist. He's straight out of Utah.
You want to know what, Tonk? I'll tell
Tua's from Hawaii.
He's not from here. We want to see his passport like Obama.
Oh my God. Are you telling me, Tonk, that the Miami Dolphins traded "Show Me the Mummy" money for "Show Me the Mommies"?
Tonk doesn't know about that, but bro, Tua Tagovailoa, born in Hawaii. Hawaii's kind of out there on an island.
Oh,
Tonk, give us
man.
411 of what's going on.
That's funny.
Oh, bro,
That's funny. That was epic, dude.
Fuck, man. I'm gonna have to watch this one. Like, I don't get to watch them. I am fucking watching this bitch a couple of times. There's a lot of gems. All right.
No, but look, for y'all, everybody who's listening, everybody in the comments, everybody here, this is what Cap and I have been doing our entire life.
Whole fucking life, dude.
This
Mocking
is
and
it.
mimicking shit
This is it.
into delirium laughter.
Just like I'd show up at
Never
his
ending.
house. I'd show up at his house and say something, and we go off of that all day.
All day long we would be on some shit, dude. And this is incredible. Let's get back to the globalist. Let's get back to the cabal.
He was a phenomenal talent that, in my opinion, didn't have reps at an NFL pocket yet. Like he had at BYU, he was launching it from about 10 and 11 yards deep, and you're not in the phone booth. And so in my estimation, there was going to be some nuanced growth to his game that I think it is close to impossible to excel at that early in that new form of football that he was playing. That's powerful to me in that there's very few people that know what it's like to be drafted high in New York City.
And what the fuck does that mean, Tonk? What is he talking about here with the New York City globalist?
Say that again. Say it again.
Sorry, I had to go get my drink. Come back.
Listen to what he says.
Yeah.
Excel at, didn't have reps at an NFL pocket yet. Like he had at BYU, he was launching it from about 10 and 11 yards deep, and you're not in the phone booth and so for in my estimation,
he's anti-communication.
There was going to be
he's
some
not in the phone booth.
nuanced
He's anti-communications. He doesn't like
to his
technology.
game.
Mormons don't like technology.
They believe it causes cancer.
You see that? But when he says it in a phone booth, that means he can't trace the phone call. He bought me. We got on sale EMF devices.
He's anti-communication because he's Mormon. And
you can't trace the cause in a phone booth. You will never find him in a phone booth.
It's like the body snatchers.
And what now that this Mormon nationalist has got to face at the DOME here in Miami is that he's entering into the cabal, and they're going to try to put him in this phone booth where he doesn't want to be in communication.
We're going to turn him into the next.
What's his name? Zack. What's the owner of Facebook?
Oh,
Mark
Elon.
Zuckerberg.
Fuck. What is his name?
Mark Zuckerberg. He's
Mark
going to be the next
Zuckerberg.
Mark Zuckerberg.
Fuck. He'll be a lizard man by noon.
We've lost him.
Tonk's got it fucking dead on the nuts. I see Alex Jones when he talks. You've got it dead on the nuts. It's fucking
game that I think it is close to impossible to excel at that early in that new form of football that he was playing. That's powerful to me in that there's very few people that know what it's like to be drafted high in New York City.
the fuck does that mean? There's very few people that know what it's like to be drafted high in any city. But New York City
when you
being
get caught between the moon and New York City.
When was the last time they drafted high? Geno Smith?
High quarterback, I guess. Yeah.
Zack, no. Actually, the one before him was the guy who's in Seattle now.
Dirty Sanchez.
That's what he said. Geno Smith. He just said, Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold.
Yeah, that's right. Sam Darnold. That's right.
It's funny that Sam Darnold and Geno Smith both end up with Seattle, both ex-Jets quarterbacks.
Well, I wonder
if in 2 years.
Geno Smith was a second-round pick.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, you're right about that.
Okay.
All right, let's continue.
And so then to see his resolve, to see where he's digested the whole situation, and it's like anything for all of us. Okay, if you have adversity in your life, that can be a source of strength and growth, or it could be a source of, all right, that's what defines you, and you can't get over that. What I see in Zack is the experience of being the second pick in the draft, being the starter week one, and then not fulfilling the rookie contract. That is behind him. So to me, that's an exciting prospect. Because that's there. You can't put a measurement on that human ability that is huge at the quarterback position. not comparing the players at all on the record, not comparing the players. Tua found that this environment helped him through that process. As coaches, we want to offer literally everything to his game, and I'm excited about where he's at based upon him.
Is he saying Tua like Tua Tagovailoa or two?
No. He's saying so. The thing that Zach Wilson went through, he was comparing it by saying he said he wasn't, but he was. Tua kind of went through that too, but earlier and got his second life, his third season, where Zach Wilson had the end of his life at his third season. And now this is a chance that Tua found this coaching staff, this team, and how they did it. It worked well for him. His career's turned around, and that they're looking to potentially duplicate that and hope that whatever environment that helped Tua turn around, they can get the same out of Zach Wilson, is essentially what he said.
Well, in other words, Zach Wilson was drafted by a bald defensive guy who didn't believe in him.
But remember, here's another thing. Did that bald defensive guy really not believe in him? Was the Aaron Rodgers experiment kind of thrusted upon Alex Saleh? Because I knew day one that when Aaron Rodgers got in there, Alex Saleh's time was ticking.
Robert Saleh,
excuse me. I don't know why I said Alex Saleh. I knew it was ticking. That's right. Thank you. That's right.
Well, both guys, Alex Jones and Robert Saleh, are both bald guys, so that's
it too. I'm getting my bald guys mixed up. But remember also, who the fuck does the globalist Mike McDaniel know? Who is Mike McDaniel's friend?
Robert Saleh.
Robert Saleh is definitely his friend. Who else scouted Zach Wilson equally as Mike McDaniel did? I mean, let's setting the bit at the side.
Yes.
It's no wonder that Robert Saleh off of the fucking Shanahan coaching tree and Mike McDaniel off of the Shanahan coaching tree with Shanahan and the fucking Niners all looking at Zach Wilson that Saleh's drafted. Maybe they fucking talked about it at some point. Conspiring globalists.
Mm-hmm.
And there's no love lost between the Jets and Saleh and what he would really have to say about Zach Wilson to his very good friend, Mike McDaniel.
Well, to be quite frank, it's an inexact science, but we thought that he was the best option for us. So, and I know, I think he was very much, I guess you guys wouldn't know this. I guess you guys are flying blind, so let me help you out. He was a direct calculated target.
I repeat, Zachariah Wilson, quarterback, second overall pick by Mike McDaniel, Chris Greer, the cabal at large in unison. Zach Wilson addition on the Miami Dolphins was a sought-after goal, calculated attack move. They really believe in that move. It was the first fucking move they did in the tampering period. Not the first, but the real first move, right? And it's a big, impactful one that the marketing guy got behind, right? The marketability. We see how unmarketable the Dolphins is when the backup quarterback comes in and the team don't play good. Zach Wilson, 2nd overall pick. If they can catch a little bit of lightning in the bottle, marketing guys like, check, sign me up, hit the like button. Financial guy gets his little mittens on it. And Brandon Shore, he goes, well, this guy's only going to cost us $6 million, and I only got to pay for half of it right now. Check, hit the like button for Brandon Shore. He's all about it too. And Chris Grier, along with what people want to push the narrative of division between the cabal members, Chris Grier and Mike McDaniel. And all as Mike McDaniel has done in this entire interview has affirmed that they are in unison still. There is zero indication of division amongst them. All the heads of the Hydra in the Miami Dolphins Department of Miami Efficiency were in agreement on the calculated move of Zachariah Wilson. Because he's a nationalist. Let's continue.
We thought that was a way that the Miami Dolphins could get better, and are excited to see how he seizes that opportunity. No, that would be a very unique conversation. No, I think it's important. You know, I see the pattern of what it is to be a head coach, and the responsibilities and the realities of it very clear. You know, Mr. Ross has been only supportive to me, and you know, ultimately, you know, there's the way I look at it is I expect him to act on what I believe my position to be. Okay, so I'm not entitled to my position as the head coach of Miami Dolphins. And so
this sounds like somebody that understands his order of operations and the cabal.
He knows his role.
He knows his role. And Stephen Ross has made that clear. And the go along, get along is going to protect him in the warm bosom of Ross. What do you got, Shake? I see you got something.
No, I agree. I like bosoms.
As we work together, he knows my expectation is to be the best person for the job. And, you know, that can get convoluted. Was I the best person for the job? Last year, we lost more than we won. We were 8-9. There's a bunch of variables in that. There's variables in success. I think Nick Sirianni was, you know, I want to be on that hot seat he was on last year.
Okay, so that is the big grab quote. Oh, yes, see, right there.
Why is he saying Nick Sirianni's on the hot? Like, Nick Sirianni was...
Okay, because last year, Tonk, that quote that he just said is the big, like, title
he ain't
grabbing
got no room
quote.
to talk about someone else on the hot seat.
Well, no, here's why he mentioned it. Because there was, when they were at 10 wins and they had lost back-to-back games, right? There was a lot of stuff coming out about the Eagles, and that there was infighting with the quarterback and A.J. Brown, and that Nick Sirianni couldn't get a hold of the team, and that if they fail, he's on the hot seat, he's going to lose his job. And it was widely reported upon to where Nick Sirianni pretty much had to say, "Fuck y'all, y'all don't know shit. I'm the head of this cabal over here," or some shit.
They
And
were
Mike,
even fighting with fans. It wasn't just not just amongst themselves, with fans. After games that they won, he's sitting there fighting with fans afterwards.
Yeah, he's like, "What now? Shut up, bitch!" Pretty much to his fans. So, but yeah, that's essentially what he's saying. But that was the grab out of everything we've heard up to this point. The Nick Sirianni hot seat Mike McDaniel wants to be on, because that's where it says Nick Sirianni's name, says Mike McDaniel's name, talks about the hot seat. That's the propaganda hot topic title that everyone talked about, when really it's a blip in what anything he said up to this point and after to me.
But what else would I expect? You're not entitled to position, and ultimately, if it's deemed that someone, the organization would be best served with someone else, like I'm more on board with that than people realize. I think that's a natural part of it. It's why I didn't start. It's why I was able to not change when the same people are pointing out my failures were hyping me up through success. This is the fastest changing world in sports. Again, Nick Sirianni was on the hottest seat. But so if we had more closer to the season that we were chasing, if we won 2 more games, does that make me a different coach? I think it's important for me to do my job the right way, that I never look at any sort of entitlement to having the job, because shame on me for everybody involved. And that I'm very comfortable in that. So every year, to me, if you're not feeling heat on the seat, you have the wrong urgency. It should be that way every year, because this is not my gift. This is an incredible responsibility that I only sign up for because I think I'm the best person suited for it. And it's as matter of fact as that. So we don't have to have any of those weird conversations.
Not bad. Not a bad statement, not a bad way to handle it, not a bad outlook to have. And all jokes aside, seemed pretty genuine, but the maniacal smiling face that I accidentally paused on says differently. Now, Tonk, I got to ask you, did I accidentally pause on the reptilian in mid-transition in this video?
I was backstocking supplements. I didn't see that.
You were backstocking supplements. Do you look right now at everything that Mike McDaniel said about, not taking the job for granted, everything like that, saying, if they move on,
I think he's on par to become more of a nationalist agenda.
Yeah,
I actually do like it though, for real.
Yeah, no, it was pretty good.
Because he was talking about someone else being on the hot seat, and now he's saying, well, in regard, like kind of in that same breath, now nobody is ever safe. So
yeah, and he's good. He's not taking his job for granted.
Yeah,
and he realizes how important it is, and he's confident in himself.
And Tyreek also said he didn't take it for granted either. So maybe they were told by yeah, that's what he said in the other video. He said, I don't take anything for granted.
You know what?
That was they were told by
the globalist. Yeah, the globalist. Look for the take nothing for granted t-shirts for sale at MiamiDolphins.com coming up here directly. That'll be the new slogan for 2025.
We take nothing for granted.
Listen, dead serious. That shit will not surprise me if there is a take nothing for granted sticker, slogan, whole fucking mantra for the 2025 season. I'm not even kidding. And you heard it here first on the late night show at the Fins Tailgate.
At Finfo News.
Finfo Wars.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I think culture is defined by the human beings. I think
Not
what's unique, and I think could be something that, I don't know, if I investigated, I could write about, is that there's more.
Did you just see that cabal shit right there?
No, what?
I didn't grasp the question, but he's listening in. Let me see if I can grasp the question. Hold on.
Responsibility that, I only sign up for because I think I'm the best person suited for it. And it's as matter of fact as that. So we don't have to have any of those weird conversations.
And he's telling the writers that they don't have to have those weird conversations. I just want to point that out too. But real quick, look what he does here at this question. Let me see if I can get the question.
Well, I think.
Okay, so I didn't catch all of it, but it's about free agency and the draft picks and something to that effect. But watch what Mike McDaniel, how he answers this.
Culture is defined by the human beings. I think what's unique, and I think could be something that, I don't know, if I investigated, I could write about.
See what he did right there?
He looked to the side.
He looked to the writers that are asking him questions. It could be something I could write about.
Oh, wink, wink.
Yes.
There's more roster turnover in the National Football League now.
Ooh, good op-ed coming up for some of these writers to say, hey, there's more roster turnover in the NFL these days. This is actually a really great point.
Now, there's smaller veteran contracts, right? Or the smaller second and third year contracts. You've seen a lot more 3 years or 2 years or 1 year. So how do you have a sustained culture? Well, it's by the people. Well, draft classes, not only have to be impactful year one, your draft classes are also your 4 to 5 year commitments that you have the ability to set the tonality of how your team is or the culture that it has. So to me, I was very happy with last year's draft class. And we're working, Chris and I are working day and night to make sure we have the same vigor about the opportunity with the 10 draft picks this year, because you're talking about in 2 years, 17 players that you have a sustained process.
What is the significance of it's like he really drilled the point? 2 years, 17 players.
Yeah.
He's literally writing an article with this tale that he's talking about here. He's spoon feeding the propaganda. And it's a great point. It's a well thought off point. I don't know if this comes from the cabal on down or if this is one of those things that he's come up with in his own head that, hey, this is a great fucking way to look at what's going on right here. And he's not wrong. He's not. He's saying, go back to the earlier in the interview, he's talking about, look, we know we got problems and we know that we need to change and we're changing it in a youthful way. And then now he's back to this point. We've got 10 draft picks this year. We had 7 last year. Rosters are different now. When you're talking about culture and what you want to build, you have to build it in the draft because you're not getting players via free agency that you signed to 5-6 year deals and they ride out that 5-6 year deals and they're a linchpin in your deal. That's those guys are getting 3-year deals. Those guys are getting, 5-year deals and gone after 2. That's just the landscape of the NFL because of what you overpay for the free agency. And even the guys you keep in the building, you know, if it's a dude you only got as UDFA, you might have him 4 years if you pay him a little bit of money at the end for a year or so. But ultimately, it's the 4 and 5 year contracts, 3, 4, and 5 year cheap deal contracts that you recognize are talented guys and keep around, and they're on your team for 5, 6 years, that you keep that replenished. And that's how it's the right way. We've been talking about doing this for a long time. What he's saying is that they're on track and believe that they can identify the type of talents that they want to get here.
Process in a league where with parity, it's all about development. So we're trying to get the right guys to develop as professionals, and their core value has to be team football, winning, and they really have to get joy out of that. That was a component that was consistent among the different personalities we drafted last year. All these guys were living and breathing football, and I think that's even more important as each team, all 32, have a unique exercise. It has changed in the last couple of years, specifically, of having your football team having an identity that progresses while handling all the roster turnover that's natural with all these shorter contracts that people are signed up for. So it is, I think that the draft has always been fun. The draft has always been important. There's a unique twist to the draft now, as I see it, big picture. And, you know, it's very important that we not only take all the things that we did well from last year and that draft class, but we have 3 more, we have 10 picks. And so that we
Whoa. We have 3 more. Hold on there. Was there a little Freudian slip? What was that?
You know, it's very important that we not only take all the things that we did well from last year and that draft class, but we have 3 more.
He's talking about the fact that they had 7 draft picks last season, and this season we have 10 picks?
Okay, all right. I got you. Okay, thank you. I was like,
No
whoa.
worries. We have 10 picks, and so that we try to have as many contributors to our football team and our culture as possible with those draft picks that will be here for a minute.
You mentioned it as a play call. What do you value most?
Well, I think it's super important as a play calling head coach that the only way that you can even enter into that sphere is if you're properly assisted, because there's a merger, so to speak, of a couple jobs. Well, you can't do 2 jobs. You'll be poor at both. So to merge those, there has to be a support system within the coaching staff that enables you to do that. And what that is are people that can see the game, that can see the game how you will see it, or anticipate how you'll see it, and really do a lot of front end work so you can make your decisions that you'd normally do in a shorter amount of time. So what does that look like for me? I have, starting with Frank Smith, and then, Butch Berry, and, I added Bobby Sloak, those guys.
A name he doesn't mention here is Darren Bevel.
Yeah, he doesn't. And my question was the question that was asked, was it about his ability to play call, or like how does
I think it was more posed at the challenges of being a head coach and a play caller.
See, this is why I like the head coach. I think that, like, I think
he's got the answers for everything.
The time, well, like if he has the time, he answers people and gives his like best answer. He doesn't. I don't know. I just feel like he cares about his answers.
Well, he definitely does. Let's get it finished.
They should be able to tell me what personnel group I should be studying first, where I used to have to figure out that the best personnel group to study was this. That deep into my process, they should be able to get me there. So now I'm, examples like that. They have to be very adept at their job. They have to be self-starters. You can't do it without the right support, or you'll fail at both. And there is one place that you can't hide in the National Football League, and that's a play calling head coach. You can't hide there, so you better be supported.
What does he mean by that?
What do you
supportive
mean?
Of him? Be supportive of him being the play caller?
Well, he's saying the way in which he's able to manage being a head coach along with being the play caller on game day is the supporting guys, like the guys he named, one of which is not Bevel, which I find to be very interesting. But those guys allow him to pull it off and be successful and then he gave them all the accolades and stuff. That's essentially what he said. So
y'all are some troops, man.
What do you mean?
It's not even remotely late where I am as it is for y'all. So
yeah, no, it's getting a little late.
But but y'all do this. Like y'all are some troops.
We gotta stand against the globalist agenda. We gotta stand here. We gotta stand here in the phone booth because we do not hate communication, and we gotta stand here and get communicative with our audience. And you can do so by helping the channel out and purchasing your penis enlargement pills here at Finfo Wars.
Don't forget about your all-natural youth elixirs. Youth elixirs, they work.
Get your youth elixir. That's how El Capitan has stayed so good looking for so long.
Called Ethylene Blue.
Yeah.
Beware of the blue balls. Only happened once.
But yeah, that's essentially what he said.
One thing about the penis enlargement, you could actually fuck yourself.
Tried and true.
There's nothing more American than that.
Only in this country.
I don't necessarily agree with it all the time, but I'll be damned if you don't have the freedom to fuck yourself with particular penis enlargement pills. We will continue to fight for here at finfowars.com. This is a place of freedom and innovation. We are the only line of defense out here against the cabal globalist agenda of the Miami Dolphins becoming an international team.
But we still need your help.
We're fighting back, but we're winning.
No worries.
We still need your help.
This is a safe and free space for you to fuck yourself. No problem.
Well, yeah, a lot of good stuff in tonight's episode. If for whatever reason you're just catching up and you're like, what the fuck are these guys talking about? You got to go back. This is a rewatch episode for sure. There is a lot of gems in this one.
And it's like a music album. You just got to let it play.
Yeah, you kind of just got to let it go, right? There's a whole theme that happens, and it organically grows into what I'm already envisioning in like merch and setups and everything. Like I am very inspired by this.
Yeah, just make sure you let it go. Not like those globalists. They don't know how to let things go.
They don't know how to let things go. It seems to be an inherent problem of these sickos, these vile people who stand in our way of patriotic freedom
and ability to fuck yourself.
I mean, if there's anything worth dying on the battlefield for, being in the trenches, being on the front line, it's the right to take these pills and have the real problem of having to potentially fuck yourself. Lord willing. Make sure you guys are hitting the like button and subscribing if you are new to Finfo Wars, the Finn's Tailgate. All right, let's wrap a bow on this, boys. It went literally almost 3 hours. It's been a while since we did a 3 hour on the tailgate. But we still need your help. I'm telling you right fucking now, this might be Tonk's bit because he's got it rapid fire. If he could, I don't know if you could pull it off putting together a fucking hour of that.
I'd have to drink a lot of ginger because I gotta practice, dude.
The real fucking problem is that if you continue to do it, you might get stuck talking.
Yeah,
like
I'm not gonna recover.
Yeah, I'll be talking like this for the rest of my life. And Big Pharma's to play.
I did it for you.
Big Pharma is the
Bro. It's so funny seeing Tonk. It would be so funny seeing Tonk on his show talking about solid shampoo. Make sure you get your solid shampoo while you're at it.
I could do so. I could do
You're
stuff.
almost there, bro.
I could
You're
do it.
almost there.
I could do it.
You're almost
Okay.
there.
Okay. I could work that in.
Yes, you could.
I could work that in.
You could fucking
Because
work
there's
in
so
the
many
product.
products. Because there's so many products that I could talk about. Yeah, I got you.
Welcome to TMR Tuesday, where we fight against the globalists here on fucking Finn's Tailgate Network. Your frontline, only truthful news source here available. That's gonna get you caught up to date. You're only place to get the truthful things and truthful American-made patriotic products that are here to save our nation. They're going to save our nation from the pedos and the fucking cabal that are out here destroying our lives. They're stealing our children. They're stealing our children.
Oh, man.
This bit will never die. Well, it's fucking late to be screaming at people on the internet. But I mean, listen, we're just gonna end it. Everybody hit the fucking like button. Make sure to catch Ali, Fourth and You, with Mike on the mic. Some good shit coming down the pike. Also Shake Money doing the Insomnia, doing the Drive Time, doing the Naked OnlyFans on finfowars.com.
Yeah, you should see what else he does with that cigar.
Yeah.
And make sure on
listen,
Wars, you get your penis pump machine.
Yeah, if you want to see how you want to see how the penis pills work and how they affect over a time-lapse period, go on the backlog of Shake Money. He's got it all.
I can't use one because I lost mine a long time ago.
Hey,
I'm only doing
that's
this
what I call.
my
That's what I
children
call
know
a backroom
what it's
collection.
like.
That's what you call a what?
A backroom collection.
Yes, backroom collections. Ooh, shit, damn. Well, fuck those guys. They don't do nothing for us.
For a limited time, you can get a black one.
Oh my fucking
Right.
God. All right. Hit the like button. This might be the fucking last tailgate show. It might only be Finfo Wars for now on, dude. It might only be Finfo Wars on this whole fucking network.
I got something I want to show y'all backstage. So,
oh my god.
All right, love y'all. Thanks for everyone, man. Thanks everyone who watched the whole fucking show.
Oh my god, I'm trying, man. This is a good show.
Shake goes, hey, I want to show y'all something backstage after that bit. Hit the like button, fools. We'll see you guys next time.
Turner Yell makes the stop in the secondary for Denver. 1st and 10. The fake. Good block in there, and down it goes. Caught at the 30.
Welcome to the Fins tailgate. It's where we elevate. Miami Dolphins talk, yeah, we never hesitate. Breaking news, hot takes, we keep it up to date. And when the fans speak up, the panel resonates. We live that aqua and orange from the field to the mic. Breaking down the plays, man, we talk it every night. From Tua to the defense, you know we keep it tight. NFL moves, you know we got the insight. We open up the floor, yeah, it's your time to shine. Fans drop the heat with opinions realigned. You got concerns, bring them, we're gonna chime. The Fins tailgate's where we keep it prime. Welcome to the Fins tailgate, it's where we elevate. Miami Dolphins talk, yeah, we never hesitate. Breaking news, hot takes, we keep it up to date. And when the fans speak up, the panel resonates. The NFL's changing, but we stay on the grind. Latest breaking stories, we don't waste no time. From the trades to the rumors, we make them all align. At the Fins tailgate, we always on the climb. We're repping the Dolphins, but it's NFL wide. From South Beach to the league, we keep it worldwide. Got the fans engaged with the energy supplied. Come kick it at the tailgate, we're riding high tide. Welcome to the Fins tailgate, it's where we elevate. Miami Dolphins talk, yeah, we never hesitate. Breaking news, hot takes, we keep it up to date. And when the fans speak up, the panel resonates. So if you love the game, you know we got the gate. Tune in, speak out, don't wait, it's your fate. This is the Fins tailgate, now watch us dominate. Miami Dolphins, NFL, yeah, we integrate.